knoweth, and welcome to Quests and Queers, a D&D game system with a special focus on LGBTQ players. Q&Q is in partnership with Toronto Gamers, a local non-for-profit connecting nerdy gamers through video games, board games, and of course D&D. Music is provided by Fox and More, and my name is Brett. I go by he, him pronouns, and I am the GM and also God. So we're going to do the introductions out around the table, and we're going to do it from this end.
Hello. Hello, I am Charlie. I go by she and him pronouns, and my lovely character, Rubalux the Red, is a red dragonborn paladin who goes by he pronouns.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I go by he or him. My character is Aisha Tyler. Aisha Night Shadow. That is her middle name, though. Aisha Tyler Night Shadow. She's a half-elf warlock, and she goes by she and her.
Alright, hello. My name is Mav. I go by they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Ravano, who goes by they, them, and he, him pronouns.
Right.
Skeleton cleric fighter.
Oh yeah, it's still redacted on the.
Yeah, but it's
we
out of
can
the bag now.
we can dedact it anytime.
Yeah,
We can do the dedacted.
It's just
we'll
dacted
do that.
now.
We'll do that next week.
It has been
We
dacted.
can do the dedactation.
My name is Ada. My pronouns are she or they pronouns, and my character is Lasgra, Hobgoblin Wizard. Mostly uses she pronouns, and her apprentice Shorolar is a goblin, regular kind, and he mostly uses he pronouns.
I am Mark, aka RK. You may know me from my YouTube show, Culturally Effed. I go by he, him pronouns, and today I will be playing as Egreth Bloodmaw, a Knoll Ranger who uses she pronouns. And today I will also be the tech, which is why, if you were watching us on YouTube, I will be looking off camera because I have to deal with the transitions and stuff. Music is, of course, as always, brought to us generously by Fox and More.
Didn't I say that?
You did.
Yeah.
But we love them so much.
Well,
we love
that
them.
We
means
just
It's
love
meant
them
to
so
double-
much. Yeah.
Double the support. Also pay no attention to me.
Alright.
Yes. So, last time on Quests and Queers. From a clue from Bardus, you guys managed to get wind of a shipwrecked boat in search of a very, very special cast of 1313 wine. From looking for it, you guys managed to track it down in the small, tiny bit of a Troll's nest. After venturing a little bit further, Aisha managed to drink a little bit.
Yeah.
And it tasted not at all like blood, which was good. After investigating further, you guys managed to find a couple bodies that were present inside with very, very specific insignia. After that you finally managed to get in, defeating the Chul and managing to get all the rest of your loot. And during that time, shortly after the battle, you managed to meet up with another friend of yours, Scaleg.
Not my friend.
Who was very, very desperate to get a piece of what was inside the Troll Cave itself, a part of what is known as the Black Star. It's a Black Star. Star. It is a very, very ancient artifact that Shoal is trying to use to get into some of the goblin tribes of Elidret's Waste. During that time, Ravano broke off their hand. And held on to it rather closely
still has your hand.
as Scaleg ran away with it.
I'm
warning
hoping he
you
doesn't take a
of
sledgehammer
the oncoming Thieves Guild members
Really handy
coming
ability.
to take a look at their stash, as well as their deceased compatriots. Upon leaving the cave, you managed to have a talk with one of them, Vale. And through your not heated, but somewhat warm conversation with Vale, they managed to trade you for all the things that were found inside the Chill Cave, as well as a little bit of cash money that you guys managed to get inside. He also offered to sneak you in, which some of you did and did not accept the secrecy. Those of you who did not were, I believe, Ravno, and I think it was one
And
more.
Lasgra.
Lasgra.
I don't think I did either.
It's okay.
You didn't sneak back in? We're sneaking between districts. I thought you snuck.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, I also
Because I think I refused when it was a slave robe.
Oh, yeah, they were gonna just.
Yeah, they were just gonna put them right over you, and nobody would know. That's the shitty thing about it. Actually, no, you totally did because your captain was on top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you totally
Okay.
did. I remember this.
Sorry.
Okay.
So, after you guys managed to make your way into the Silverlips district, the second district in Lake Reach, and just make your way out of Shantytown, you managed to hear a little bit of a tickle in the back of your ear, Rubella, as you hear Finnegan's message. Long lost Finnegan, who gave you a light message just very briefly, and that is where we ended it off last session.
Ruby currently looks petrified and is looking around like aimlessly,
We go to bed last time.
like
No, we haven't.
and
Oh, okay.
and just trying to see where the voice came from. if anyone notices.
I definitely probably saw you like looking weird or out of normal.
Well, like,
yeah.
well, he looks terrified and is like looking around and sees nothing. And then he turns to you guys and says, Did you hear that?
Seems that many of our companions are hearing things that not all of us can.
The cities are noisy.
It's like no, it was Finnegan.
Oh,
The
That
coward.
guy? Yeah.
And
Wait, it's like he needs us.
didn't we see him in a cage or something? Wasn't he a slave, or did you only hear him privately?
I don't know.
yeah, did we see him?
No,
Oh,
it was
right.
only it was almost as if a spell was projected directly into Rubalex's head.
Oh.
It's almost as if that was the case.
It's like, well, like, hurry, help me look. And Ruby starts like running around and looking down alleyways and looking like a crazy person.
Oh, no.
Wait.
Don't go too far. Together now. Together.
Perhaps you can answer.
Finnegan.
Try to think it.
I was just like, what's going on?
So as you manage to look around the side of the Silverlips district, you can see a noticeable increase in wealth. As you begin to look around, you can see some people more dressed very, very cleanly. You can see more people going across the side of the street. You can see two couples holding hands walking down to the side. Much more in less dirty and very, very almost fanciful clothing. You can kind of tell that they have very rich-looking outfits, but made of poorer material. And as you begin to go through, and you begin to like dart in between each back alley, and you can see there's relatively little dirt in the ground. There are a few baggers, but not really a lot that you see. You don't see Finnegan anywhere. You think you see Finnegan in just for a second, where you see like red spikes coming out of someone, but that's actually a very, very tall half-orc in red armor walking down another area.
Ruby looks dejected. He's just kind of like staying there quietly now, thinking to himself. Still trying in his head, saying like, Finnegan, where are you? In his head. Doesn't hear anything, it would seem.
Well, you hear some hushed murmurs of some small merchant tents to head and some rushing water of a fountain in the distance.
So I feel like Aisha, because she's had a history of just like probably hearing things every now and then. She is concerned about the Ruby, so she goes to Ruby. She's like, "You okay?"
Does she touch him?
She doesn't.
Okay.
She wants to, but she's like not sure, unsure.
Oops.
How crazy does my hair look out of 10?
It's
okay.
It's
It's like a
beautiful.
3.
It's
Okay, so it's not bad.
No, I mean you that's 5
Oh, okay.
now.
Did I fuck it up?
that's fine. It's good.
Just
There
commit.
we
Here,
go.
I'll go with you. Here,
Yeah.
I'll hold
Hold
you.
on.
Yeah, I fucked
Now we're
up.
on the same level.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah, this is totally average. I'll
So back to looking dejected.
Yeah.
Pale.
Now we're in character.
I'll just
This
You
actually
would
kind of
just
helps the
go like
dejected
yeah,
look.
yeah. That makes sense though. Okay.
put it back into place very quickly.
Are you okay, Dragonborn? You look concerned and lost.
He huffs at you guys and is like, well, if none of you will help me, and he just like runs off into an alleyway.
As you begin to run off, you can hear the padded footsteps of a red dragonborn scales hitting the back end of the stone as you begin to run away.
Yeah.
Run away. And as it begins to get a little bit darker outside, you can just see how dark these back alleys are.
Ruby!
You start to see like a small little lantern inside some house. You begin to walk by and just take stock for just a few seconds.
Ruby, this is how we die. Ruby, come back. Teamwork, Ruby. Ruby!
I'm not here. You can't hear
I know.
me.
Split the party.
Well, do we go after him?
I say we definitely go after him. Like, he knows something. He mentioned Finnegan, so let's definitely go after him.
Lasgra?
Yeah, I'm in.
Alright.
If anyone's gonna really get in trouble in this district,
Yeah, he's like just
Probably
getting
Ruby,
himself lost
so-
in the district.
Yeah, as you guys begin to trail forward, you manage to easily find exactly where Rublex went to. In the kind of this back alley, you can see this red tail just like slamming against the side of a wall, and Rublex just kind of like tucked underneath and just kind of looking down, staring at a wall, trying to figure out what's happening and trying to gather the amount of thoughts that can kind of justify hearing random voices in your head without short of going crazy.
Which I'm sure he feels right now.
alright, Ruby, look, it's Finn. We know he's into some shit. He's weird. We don't know exactly what the nature of his weirdness is, but I mean, folks like that, it's not entirely uncommon for them to be able to just speak into people's minds. So, whatever's happening, I'm pretty sure it's actually happening. We just need to figure out why he's trying to contact us and only seems to have done it once. Maybe it was an accident. I don't know.
He said something about Delver Street.
Give me an intelligence check now. Maybe kind of jog your memory.
I think I did okay for once, since I'm usually pretty dumb. 17 plus. I guess she's probably minus. Is it a
Intelligence.
intelligence? Just general?
Yeah, it's
okay.
a memory.
17.
So you can tell a couple of things. You know that he said window in
Yeah.
his scuttled message. You know that he mentioned a street called Dervier Street.
Yeah.
And you actually know exactly where that street is. It's closer to the Gold. It's where the Goldies and Silverlips district interject.
Okay.
It's actually closest to the wall and the boundary. And you can tell that there's 2 apothecaries that are on that street. He mentioned apothecary in what he said. He said he could see one from across the street. He also said that he could hear a violin and that a large gnoll was holding him captive.
Once he remembers this, he kind of just starts running there.
Ah.
Well, here we go again.
Here goes again, yeah.
As you begin to like trail down the side of the street, you move past the fountain where you can see 2 people kind of like holding hands. And just you begin to run down down the side of the street. It's like kind of they look up at you for a minute and then just like go back. And back to that. You can see one man who's like putting away his merch and stuff, like doo doo doo, as you just like fly around, dash to the right and keep going. And then you manage to get to the other end of the street, kind of T-bone intersection. You can see a large Silverlips district kind of go. You ran for about 15 minutes.
I'm probably pretty freaking huffy now then.
And as you begin to huff, you feel like the colder night air begins to like float into your lungs almost as you begin to go on your beleaguered breaths. You start to hear like some taverns onto the side. You come across that you've seen previously. One's like the Muted Mouse. You've seen previously walk by. You walk by another one called the Callowed Clam.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk by, and as you manage to get to the final part of this intersection, you can see Dervier Street. As you take just a right from the intersection, you can see the large wall to your left, and a collection of small streets down onto your right. And you know there are 2 apothecaries there.
Do I know either of the apothecaries?
One of them is called Dervier's Apothecary. And one is called Macario's Medical Mysteries.
Lasgra, if they have more space in here, why don't the poor people in the other districts just move into this area?
You're not the first person to ask something like that. Isn't really an answer for you. It's just
There are more of them than there are guards.
I mean, these humans, they really like the divides and categories for each other. It's a real problem, to be honest with you.
As you guys begin to catch up, if anybody's on that side, you notice that there seems to be a little bit of insignia that is present inscribed onto the wall of the Silver Lips district on the Golden Lips. Does anyone want to give me a perception check, please?
I will do it.
I'm bad at that.
15.
15.
Nice.
You sort of notice that there's some insignias that are present, like kind of etched into the wall almost. And as you begin to look around, you can see a couple of things that are present. You can see a large snake that's kind of wrapping around the letter B. You can tell it seems to be of somewhat significance, but you can't really place what it is. It seems to be repeated on the side of the wall.
Alright. Be wrapped with snake.
So does Ruby know the people in the apothecaries?
They seem to be closed down. At the
Okay.
moment.
So they're both closed?
Yeah, it's in the night.
He doesn't care. He's gonna start knocking on one of the doors when everyone's closer.
They're probably going to be on Derby or Apothecary.
Okay, he's slamming on the door. He's like, "Open up!"
Wasn't he across the street from one of them, not in the apothecary?
Are they across the street from each other?
No, they're on the same street. They're adjacent to one another, not opposite.
But what's across from each of them?
What was your perception check?
15.
15? You can tell there are 3 different towers present, and all of them kind of overlook the Silver Lips district. But they're on the Goldie's side.
Okay. So,
Just smack, smack, smack.
As you go on the side, your fists like slam against the one shelf. You can see a windowsill just like shove up, as you can see as someone goes to the other side. A small gnome, about like maybe they're very, very youthful in appearance. They go over and they like readjust their glasses and they have a tiny little nightcap. The one you see previously, it's got like a little puff on the end. And they just go, what?
It's like, isn't it? He's like, is it? And then he realizes, like, how does he ask? Do you have this person in there? He's like,
have you seen a gnoll?
They live here. They're common. You can see as they throw down. But for a second, I mean, like, it's nighttime, but it's not like significant nighttime. Like it's like
8 or 9.
Like it's like 8 or 9, but this person's already in a nightcap. You
Sorry,
can tell they have a
have
very
you-
different.
Have you heard any violin music? We're just wondering where it's coming from. We've heard some wandering around here.
You're around the taverns. It's kind of obvious.
Well, how about in the past very short amount of time?
You could probably try the Muted Mouse. They play stuff. Get away from I open up early. What's wrong with you people? You can clearly see we're closed.
Apologies.
Jeez, you no.
We're not.
Back.
We're
You can just see it,
tourists.
they just,
That's all.
slam the windowsill down. Down, you can see like a fresh thing of dust eject out as it kind of sprinkles out onto you for a second.
Well, that was rude.
go to the other one, start slamming. Are you like standing in front of Ruby?
I'm
yeah.
gonna bodily interject here
Yes.
a little bit. Me and my 1 hit point.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
What was I at? I think I was at 6.
Ruby,
Wait.
Finn must be in one of those towers. Not
Is he?
the apothecary.
The 1, 2, 3 towers?
Are any of the windows in the towers lit?
2 of them are lit now. Actually, you can tell one is just kind of put off at the end of a curtain, so like it's lit through a curtain. And another one seems to have somebody somebody writing on stationery as they look out every so often and then writing on stationery.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure.
I'm sure this is not gonna. Oh, damn!
Oh, nice.
19 plus. What's my perception? 0, so 19.
You can tell it's a very, very small knoll writing around on a quill as they're just looking outside every so often and then just like keep writing.
And I know it's a knoll.
Sorry, gnome.
Okay.
Gnome.
Oh, it's a gnome?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And in the other, so that's in one window, but no one's in the other window?
No, it's a light behind curtains.
It's like, we need to get up there.
But not tonight. We've done enough fighting. Be patient.
What if he needs us now?
We've done what we can. If we die trying to reach him, and there's danger, we shall accomplish nothing.
And if we do nothing now, then there might not be anyone to help.
We will still be coming. If we are late, it is better than not arriving at all.
He just kind of like glares at you, and he's like, then I'll figure out a way. And then he just kind of like huffs and starts like walking around looking how to like get to the towers.
From what you could tell, probably the only way through and probably the safest way would be to climbing the wall with like grappling hooks and stuff. But like that,
I don't have that.
You've seen people do that before in your time here,
Yeah.
and it almost never worked. Like it's sketchy. You've only seen one person do it, and that's with a very specific tool. And as you look up the walls, give me a perception. Or actually, you know what? Give me a history check with your time here.
Pretty good roll so far.
Yeah, pretty good roll,
Yeah.
but minus 1, so 13.
You've heard of only one before,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the legend of Begawul's Claw. And it's apparently an ancient item that only Thieves Guild uses. Apparently, the Goldies district is lined with along these towers and these very high-ranking structures, these kind of claw marks that are present on the side of them. Some of them streak downwards, and some of them go to the side upon ledges. Apparently, with the type of material of the Goldies that are present, if you were to jump onto the side of a wall, it could hold you and slide you down at a reduced speed. And it kind of scrapes onto the side. You've only seen one of them while being here. And you've only seen one mark in the Silver Lips district. That's been it.
We need rest. We just fought a bunch of chulls and just those weird crawly things.
I agree.
I'm just
Am
gonna
I
say,
suffering from
Ruby,
exhaustion, by the way?
Ruby,
You're
where
close.
Yeah.
he's being held captive. He's not like if they were in a hurry to kill him.
They would have done it.
If he's being held captive, he'll still be being held captive tomorrow. And
We know he's in one of
ready to
those
hit the
towers.
sack.
We're heading to the Goldies district anyway to drop off some of this wine.
And we'll get back to him as soon as possible.
And there's our lady of the evening that we have to catch up with.
Ruby kind
That's
of
her
like
name.
closes his eyes and just like nods, like
Do you mean not?
Yes,
he just nods, but he looks upset.
if they're even still in the city.
Aisha's just gonna risk it and put her hand like gently on like his shoulder, like,
He like throws his arm up and throws her arm away.
oh no, we'll be okay.
Where
Ruby."
where do you guys want to stay?
Muted mouse. That's where the music was.
Muted.
How much wine have we got anyway?
I have 8 bottles
Because the thing is, I'm a little bit.
and 1 empty bottle that we could maybe fill with wine and reseal, and then we'll have 9 bottles.
You guys are also tasked with doing some
Uh,
things in the Silver District.
I'm a little bit loath to make an enemy out of Bardus if we don't have to.
You know
I
what
don't
I
really
think?
see a reason why I can't play both sides.
Fuck that guy.
Well,
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, seriously. He took our staff. I want that staff.
No, Guild.
No.
Oh, the Thieves Guild
Thieves
took that
Guild.
staff. Oh, yeah, it's true. No.
Vale took that staff.
I mean, yeah, fuck him. But
yeah, so Bardus was the guy who told us that we could kill that red dragonborn to get into was it the Silver District? Yeah.
No, he told you to pay either price. He didn't say to get you.
So,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's 2 things that I know about Bardus. One, he's an asshole if he doesn't care about you, and I don't think he cares about the city. 2, it's probably where Skylax's going.
I must retrieve my hand.
She actually
So I
loves.
think we should.
Do you like just lift up your arm and just
Word
like
out.
show?
No. It's
Does anybody
nothing to me.
know how to do that? If we just put the word out that we're looking for him, is that a thing?
I think I know where my hand is.
Fair dues.
Follow my hand,
All right.
Can you lead us to your hand then?
in theory.
Should we do that now, or should we do that in the morning?
Right now.
We should rest.
Yeah, that's probably better.
It will keep till morning.
I hope so.
Um,
Rest you seems
It's
to
a
be keeping
dead
for a
hand.
while.
I remember there was a note with the Dulcet mentioning Aldusa salt boot that there was something to do with an apothecary receipt of services. Are one of these 2 apothecaries one of the ones that
No,
was received?
actually, that's a place called the Netherin Void.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
We have to go there separately.
Gross.
Was that's in the Goldie's district?
That is actually in Silverlips District.
Oh, but it's not one of these other 2 apothecaries in the Silverlips district.
No, because it's not in the apothecary.
Okay. That's not what my notes say.
Okay.
And my notes are curiously blank on this. Anyway, that's alright. Apparently it wasn't relevant to Raveno. I didn't write that shit down.
Not important.
But you do recognize the name Altissa Saltboot, though.
Yeah.
That is for sure a Knoll name.
I'll do so. Yeah, because the note was in Abyssal, I remember that.
There was a ritual note as well involved.
Yeah, wolves and stuff. Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to find somewhere we can get magical
So,
goods.
Either one of you can do a history
They're
check
closed.
to figure out where the muted mouse is, or try and figure out other taverns that are within the area. that you
Okay.
guys
I mean,
might
I
wanna do.
should know where it is, right?
Well,
Never
there's all
mind.
taverns
I'm not
here.
rolling.
Is that merchant still there packing up his stuff?
Not
Are
this
we anywhere
time.
near him still?
Well, you guys ran past him.
Okay.
No, one's okay.
Is there any-
Ruby's still in a daze.
No, your bye die.
My bite, I failed me.
Is there anybody around who looks like a merchant? If I could
There's a
ask
couple
them.
guards around. I mean, like, you can follow the music if you wish to. I mean, like, the night is a lot.
Yeah.
You can hear music down to the side of the street that you came up to this district. You could see 2 of them that were currently there. One of them was the muted mouse, and one of them was the cow. So like, you could probably figure out which one's which if you just go back. You can also figure out other ones if you guys don't like these ones.
Do we hear
Hmm.
violins anywhere?
You do. You're 2.
Okay.
One of
Separate or
them's
together?
these seem to be together actually.
Okay.
This one seems to be, as you go down the side of the street, you can see 2 taverns on either side of the street. One of them has a large clam onto the side with burnt edges. It says the Callowed Clam. You can see some people in there. You can see one guy going crazy on drums. You can see people just like slamming drinks together. And as you take a look inside for a minute, these all look mostly like sailors. And you can see just one guy just going like crazy on the drums as they're all just like, ah! it's kind of a crazy scene. You can tell that not a lot of people. That looks like a tourist's bar. Only tourists go there. And as you go over and you look over to the side of the muted mouse, it seems to be what would be modern day terms be resembled as a jazz bar. Like as it begins to like look in, you can see 2 people playing violin in the corner. They both seem to be in like a fiddling duel as one of them is going, and they both seem to like catch him going even faster and faster. You can see a gnome just on the other side. You can see a collection of dwarves who are like just going like just keep on going to the table and slamming their hands on the ground. You can see one bartender on the side like washing some dishes. You can see some collections of humans that are going there. They're talking amongst themselves. It's kind of a lit in a smaller room. It seems to be a weird musician's bar.
Alright. Shall we?
What happens if to my music?
Aisha's really enjoying the violins. It sort of reminds her of home, and she's just like, oh, it's beautiful.
What kind of violin music is, like, what's the style of violin?
This seems to be more or less like competitive fiddling.
Okay.
I'm
imagining Nova Scotia.
This is a show of skill and dexterity, as these 2 are just like. You can tell, like, one guy's person just huffing it, like his face is getting red, and the other person just like. They're both just like looking at each other. You can see like this slamming on the ground. I don't really have anything represented. If I would, I could.
No, look at
No,
that.
all I can think of is Nova Scotia. So
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Now, as we begin to look around for a second, all of them have like these kind of. You can see like some pins that are represented there. Some of them are in very, very extremely nice clothing. You can see one half orc just sitting in the corner, just like wildly staring, and you can see like collections of shot glasses off at the side as he's gone like through 6 shot glasses. Like, This is this kind of bar, where most of them are just judging the competition that's going on.
And is it like tavern or
It's like a tavern.
Cool.
I mean, like you could probably see just off like the left of the bar that seems to be the main source of attraction. There seems to be a step where it's upstairs as well as a bathroom just past the bar.
All right. So we're going in.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not very tavern-y music, but it's okay.
It's very, it's very peaceful.
It's very peaceful.
It's very peaceful,
like-
despite
It's
despite
bedtime.
Ruby's mind being
Does it?
not peaceful.
Yeah.
Do any of these patrons look like wizards to me?
You can give me like a slight perception check, as if you can do a maximum or minimum perception check. But yeah, give me a perception check.
I don't have advantage because I'm looking for people like me, do I?
No, you're a hobgoblin.
Well, I roll a natural 20,
Wow!
You can be able to identify maybe 2 or 3. You can see the orc that's present inside that's about 6 or 7 or now 8 shots in. As you look over and take a good look at him, you can see one of the fiddlers has what you could probably think of as being a spell book.
Mm-hmm.
But instead it looks like a musical notes of compositions and little like serenaded notes that are present on the side.
I mean, all I'm trying to do is find out who I can ask about where to get like the supplies I need to copy spells out of this spell book. That's all I'm trying to do right now.
Okay, well that wasn't what you asked.
Well, no, I'm just trying to say.
Probably those 2.
Okay, but I don't want to. Can we just like say that conversation happened? I don't want to take too much time away just from anything.
Well, that's fine. You can have the conversation.
Go
It's
ahead.
cool. You imagine
It's like
making
the-
friends.
This is the carousing phase.
Okay, I'm gonna sit down across that orc.
He goes over. He goes to the side. He's currently just like.
behind you.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm gonna
Yes. What can I? You with?
Look, I mean, you look to me like a bit of a magical sort.
That is very correct.
You know,
That's very astute.
one wizard to another. I just, I'm a little bit new in this part of town.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering, do you know where around here, especially if it's open later, anywhere I can sort of get magical supplies, spell components, the type of stuff used copying spells and...
I could maybe help you out with that. Do you need ink?
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Do you need paper?
Paper, I'm alright.
So you just need ink and a quill.
I need the magic special.
Oh, the special ink. I have a little bit if you want, but you could probably just get it tomorrow. I know a person that would be great to get it from you. And it's this guy. I know him. I've known him for a while. His name is Leolar. He works just outside of the Netherland Void. Does some really good stuff. Works mostly in inks and small little doodads and baubles. Very interesting cat. As well as, oh man. I think there's some, what's it? Oh, Dexter's Elixir. May be able to help you with that. He's kind of been in a the Alchemist. That's the name. That's the name it was. And yeah, he's been doing that stuff for a while. I know him very well. I know him personally. His middle name is Maria. It's very embarrassing.
I don't know. These human-y names are all seem embarrassing to me, but what do I know?
They're all embarrassing. They're all pointless. What's your name? My name's Bamford Cobbler. You want to be known as Shoemaker? What about Death Crusher or Blood Smasher?
I am Blood
Axe
Mom.
Gobbler?
What
Or
about First Protector?
really
What
good
about
name.
First Protector Losgra, Daughter of Kagra, Third Head of the Tower of Mystics, and Keeper of the Shadowed Star?
You don't say that every time.
That's
do
a
you?
fucking name. I mean, sometimes I do it just to see. Just to see how long I can go before people start interrupting me.
Oh. Well, I didn't. Do I get
Usually
shit from that?
Losgra's alright.
No, Losgren. And he goes over and he shakes your hand kind of sloppily.
Could I get you a drink? Maybe like a coffee, cup of tea?
I don't believe in coffee. Coffee is an addiction. One more. So the bartender just like looks at him. He's just like, oh, fine. He goes on the side and he gives him a shot glass and. Yep, it's great.
Well, nice to meet you, Cobbler.
My name
Remember, don't tell him.
My name is Kathok Deathchewer. How do you chew death? It's so stupid.
How'd you get the title like that?
Oh, I was born into it.
You were born chewing on death.
Apparently, that's the idea. So our names are so stupid. What's the
Can
deal with that?
can I do an inch check on that name to see if I know any of the clan's history?
Sure.
I have advantage. Do I have an advantage because he's half orc?
With this, yeah, sure.
So why not? That would be a 12.
Sounds like a fake name.
Yeah. He's full of shit. Yeah, he's full of shit.
I am not.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Look, we've all told fibs once in a while.
I don't tell
So,
her.
never. See, that's exactly what a fibber would say.
But isn't that exactly retroactively what a truther would say?
No. Mm-mm.
That doesn't make any sense. One more.
All right. Have a great night, Kathok.
Thank you. You have a good day. Night? It's night. Have a good night.
Evening, I suppose.
I say we get a meal, we go to bed.
Were in either of those places nearby? Leolar with his Nether and Void. Was Nether and Void a store, or was it like a...
It's a place. We have to make a delivery there anyway.
Okay. All right.
Maybe it's like an outlet mall.
Oh, wait.
Can you imagine?
Department store.
Oh,
Nether and Void shops.
oh, it's like Bath
Parking
and
complex.
Body
Souvenir
Works.
gift shop.
Is the
Nether
is the,
Void and
is
beyond.
the music still going on downstairs? Or
Yeah, it's
whatever?
still going.
You should
It
just
took a very small amount of time.
you should like a lot of stuff because you just use presentation to like make little tiny like firefly lights, just like kind of swing with the beat of the competitive thing.
Yeah, as it begins to happen, you can see one of the bartenders like roll a piece of paper. It's like, he's like slap one down. Fuck! I don't want to go rid of those.
She just puts her wand back in her perch like. Trying to lighten the mood.
Over to the side, you can like still see them just like going as the fiddling just goes up to an apex, and they finally begin to stop. And as they begins to stop for a second, they both like bow for a minute, and you can see like one of them is like sweating into the beads. One of them has a black eye because they're just going like.
I lift my hands to applaud,
And you can see-
I notice the
We can do it together.
There we go.
And you can see like, oh yeah, and they begin to stop as both of them begin to go down. They begin to like shake their hands and smile and laugh. Some of them pat themselves on the shoulders and begin to walk over onto the side. The bartender is just going like this.
Oh.
It's beautiful.
Oh.
And as it begins to go forward, they kind of go off into a step. And you can hear one of the gnomes just kind of be like, yeah, son ain't got shit on me. I've been doing this shit for years. What?
Encore!
Encore?
Give us
best-
another one.
You want encore?
The
So you
best,
can see
the
as he like drips up his hands a little bit.
Yeah.
Little bit, and you can see a friend of his just like, no man, I'm totally done. I can't do it. And
Just
he's
one
like,
more.
Okay, fine. As he
Just
goes up
one
the side,
more.
the side, he begins to like stamp his foot down even more, and he begins to go even faster.
And
he
I'm
starts it
gonna
off in a
make
while.
Shul's gonna make him roll a 6 on his performance check.
Can I cast? Yeah, can I give him guidance? I have guidance. So I can
No,
do
I'm
it.
trying to make this
No,
dude
no,
fuck
the
up because he was a
diviner's gonna
cocky
make him
bastard.
roll a
Oh,
As in,
that's
you
even
make him
better.
roll a 6.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna make him.
Oh, I didn't hear
No,
that.
don't
Oh,
go.
no.
He
but
rolls
you
a
got
4.
yeah.
That's a
that.
4. That's an 18 now. Because he's that fucking
Of a
skilled.
6?
Yeah. Because Jackie didn't
I'm
have
gonna give
guidance.
guidance.
Oh my
I don't know
god.
what
He
guidance.
got a 4, and then he has an 8 on top of
Well,
that.
I gave him a 2. I gave him a 2.
I rolled it already.
Oh, you were. Oh, no, that's how it works. Right. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. That's true. Sorry.
So,
So he begins to go off. He just continues going, and it's not as fast and not as eloquent as before. But he's like still getting people going. So you can see just like get people, more people are drinking. You can see shot glasses being poured as the bartender just continues just to be like, it's beautiful. It's so good.
do they know they screwed each other, or would they have to do a
don't think-
check on
You don't have
that?
to do like an arcana. It'd be a very simple.
I mean, the
arcana
thing
check.
is, Shul doesn't
Mhm.
have to do anything.
Yeah.
No.
You don't have to do anything to make your portent roll come up.
No, but you,
It just
you
happens.
need to roll something to identify Jackie's thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
you
care.
would have to know that. Yeah.
I'm just-
like-
yeah.
you're
I mean, I
She
still
doesn't
did
know.
more harm than Jackie did good for her.
Yeah.
That was
just
still
assume-
pretty
yeah.
impressive.
She's like, why is that spell not really working that well? What's going on?
This fucking 16 doesn't bat an arm.
While you guys are all having fun, Ruby is dramatically leaned against the wall, arms crossed, not having any of this shit.
Ruby, let's just go sleep, and then we'll find Pinkin right away. We're really sorry. We just had fun. We barely had fun. We just almost got killed last time.
You can see over the bartender, he sees, like, stops looking at the filling for a minute as it just continues in the background, this kind of ruckus cloud. Gegris, you can see over to the side as one guy, like, drunkenly, like, knocks into you for a second. You can kind of see beer, like, pour off the side of your elbow. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were there. It's all good. See ya. And he just, like, goes away. He just kind of, like, scuttles away to the front of the bar. And he does, like, the double take for a minute as he just continues walking away forward.
Ooh, that's awkward.
Can I send that musician a drink?
Make
That was pretty cool.
He goes over to the bartender and he's like, oh, you wanna send them a drink? Yeah, well, that is a very, very nice thing to do. That is 3 copper pieces.
Gotcha.
This place is fucking cheap.
I'll
He goes over to the side.
I'll toss him
to the
5.
Side. Oh, thank you very much. He just puts over the side. You can hear like this large clinkering of coins on the other side. He just like takes it and just rolls his hand over as he gives you a drink, and he puts it on the side. So you can kind of tell it's like this like was red amber liquor, almost kind of mixed with this almost beer mixture. And he just kind of flips it over and he gives it to you. He puts a little bit of silver powder on top.
Well, I asked him to send it to the silver powder. Jesus.
Well, fine. I can just give it to him myself. It's cool. He just puts it on the side and puts it on the waiting list. He's like, anything else for all of you? What can I get for you? And you can kind of see as you take a look at him a little bit more. He's got like very, very nice gestured features. Like kind of human in his late 30s. He's got like a very, very nice face. He looks a little bit. He looks like he's 19, but he's aged. He's got a little bit of gray in the side of his hair. Unkept stubble that kind of goes off into like what's it called? Sideburns that goes off a little bit too far. It's upkept. Very friendly demeanor, bright blue eyes. Looks over. He's like, oh, what else can I have for you?
Do you have any good fruit wine?
Good fruit wine. I have a raisin brew.
Sort of counts.
That's
That doesn't
fine.
sound very good.
That's
Was
alright.
once a
I'll
raisin.
have a glass of that.
It is kind of delicious. I know it doesn't sound great.
Very
but
dry.
It's kind of a
and small
lie.
amount.
Is it?
Isn't a raisin brew just wine?
We don't call it. We don't know. It's wine. But that's what we no.
I shall have your biggest glass of that raisin wine.
No raisin brew.
Raisin brew. Sorry, I meant to say.
Jeez. And he goes over and he's just pouring out of the side.
Oh, no.
And it's just a beer glass that is filled to the brim with wine. And some
That
part of it
is
carbonated and some part of it
fantastic.
isn't. As he goes over and he's like, yep, that'll be 6 copper pieces, please.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, shit, I forgot to write my thing.
He goes over and he slides it to you, and
I
copper
definitely
pieces?
give it to you.
he's like, oh, no tip, that's good.
Oh no! Plus 2 coppers, and a firefly.
Don't get
this
greedy.
He just like goes off to the side and he swats it away. He's like, thank you very much. Well, actually, the whole reason why drinks are so low is because I kind of rely on them. But yeah, anything else I can get for any of you? Anything else? More booze? Place to stay? Food?
A place to stay we need.
Well, that's the thing. I've got a lot of rooms. I've got 4 rooms open. 2 of them, 2 or maybe one of them will be rather loud, but I could probably get one away from you. Probably sequestered away. Would it be 1 room, 2, or all of you would like an individual room?
How would we prefer to do this?
Preferably my own bed.
I suppose
If that's
how the-
okay.
I'm
But
flexible.
I'm fine too.
I have no need of a bed.
I mean, it'll depend on how
I'm
the
okay sleeping in the
musician over
goblin
there
pile.
responds to my drink. So
Alright.
Well, some of them can be outfitted with another bed if you do need. It is a small surcharge, just move it straight over. After that, it wouldn't be a problem.
I mean, we just need a
What?
pile of me and my little ones. We just
So,
kinda need
3
a
beds.
pile of bedding of
3 beds, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will write it right down. So for the cost of the night, that will be 5 silvers per room.
How many rooms do we end up with?
How many rooms were there?
3.
3. 15 silver.
15 silver or 1.5 gold pieces.
A gold piece and a half, do you hear?
Yep, we are very, very inexpensive.
Love it.
We are the cheapest place. Whereas we told that this is going to be the first place that Sal is going to
I-
perform when he gets back in.
I will pay 2
Whoa.
gold pieces.
Oh, thank you very, very much. And he just kind of sorts it in. And you can see one person on the side of the bar being like, "Ha! You spent 2 gold!" Out of the side, you just kind of swing it over. That's very, very nice of you, by the way. Thank you very much. Your patronage is very, very nice and expected. But apart from that,
I also give 3 gold by secretly, and I whisper like, also some food in the morning would be nice too.
no problem. Is there any particular dietary thing?
I can eat anything, just not like no blood or anything.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
anything. And he just goes over to the side as he takes it from over the side of the bar. He's like, yes, my name is Tuyor. I'll be around for a while. If you need anything, just yell Tuyor very, very loudly, and I will be there in a snap. I am here from, I started my shift about an hour ago. I will be up and awake for the next 13 hours. So, if you need anything else, let me know.
To my what?
Just more.
To my what?
I don't really, I don't like my last name.
In character.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I don't like my last name too much. Yeah, just Tamor. You can see like the orc is on the side. He's like, he's a cobbler. There's as the bartender just looks over. He's like,
Can I insight that to make sure it's like a because it's true and not a because he always calls me that and it's not true?
Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't very good. That's +5 though. 13.
That's his real name.
He is truly called Cobbler.
It's not my fault. My dad made good money. He's just a cobbler, and it's not that. It's not that interesting. He literally got walked over himself all the time.
These things happen.
Yeah, I know.
Ruby, shall we get you to your bed?
Yes, is there anything I can get you? A little bit of whiskey, a bit of a little liquor. Nope. Okay, that's fine.
Ruby.
Ruby being a moody boy.
However, if you guys continue to like the musical venues here, we will be upcoming the next couple of days. Sella's firstborn son will actually be playing here in the next couple of upcoming days, and it'll be very, very interesting after they go through their first masterpiece, apparently.
Sella?
You can do a history check on that with advantage because you're from here.
I want a history also. If I know who Sella is.
Ooh. And
I might. I got a 19.
-1 is 17.
Okay.
Thank you, bye.
The power of buy.
The power
bar!
Yeah, if you were gonna say that, I was gonna fucking say that. You know him as Gregoros, which is one of the most famous bards in Lake Reach, not even just counting the southern part of the Fading Rift. He's a very, very famous bard and comes from a long line of bards. And they've been particularly prominent in the Goldies district. They've accrued a lot of wealth over the years and now have a large estate in the Goldies district. People will literally pay like hundreds of gold to go see him play. And from what you can tell, he had a son now about like 20 years ago, but his son never played for anyone yet, and that is highly unusual.
Also, the fact that it's being played in the Silver District, and apparently what is considered, I guess, a cheap bar.
We gotta support the little one. We gotta come and support him.
Do we?
A little musician.
Yeah, his son Umsil will be playing here in the next couple of days. It'll be very, very interesting. I guarantee you it'll be a very, very good performance.
That's delightful.
Well, they live for so long. You get a chance to really build up their reputation.
Wait, so they're elves?
No, actually, they are gnomes.
Gnomes? Okay.
Even smaller.
Not very often you see gnomes in the Goldies district. They just don't like to stay around here for very long. But
I
they
can't
manage to
imagine
come.
why.
Well, it's not. No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. They're totally allowed here. They're not illegal by any means. They're fine. I'm not a racist. It's fine. I'm not a racist. That's not what I'm saying. They can play very, very well. And that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that they just like to stay here for a while, and they just like to go. They don't like to leave down mountains. Like mountains of gold, I mean. They don't live in mountains. I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm fine.
Ruby's just giving that guy just a gay look like,
Really?
I've just been sitting here patiently listening to this.
do I look like the meme?
I guess. I like how I was just implying this is a shitty place. But
I'm not a racist. Let's go to our bingo page. Not a racist.
I know that.
Did I
sure, Jan.
did I get a response, by the way, from that musician I sent a drink to?
Has it happened yet? Is it time?
He didn't actually come over. He's still playing on the other side of the bar.
No, that's
He
good.
can't drink while playing. That's his problem. But it's
Amateur.
Well, you try and play violin. Well, why would you even do that? Would you try and have it in one hand,
That's what they make straws for, Brett.
well, how would you perch it onto
Like
the
a
side?
you get
a
like a little
A
holster.
really long one.
Would you put it onto the side of your head and have a
Oh,
silly
yeah,
straw
that-
wrapped around
Yes.
the back?
What a medieval cap with 2 beers on the straw.
Oh my
That's how
God.
that was invented. A violinist was like, I need to be able to drink and play at the same time.
And get progressively
And that's
worse.
how beer caps,
And that's
beer
how
helmets
NASCAR was
came to,
adopted.
came to the fading rift.
Oh.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean, I'm
sure.
gonna resolve that situation before I go to bed.
I'm
so.
sure he's gonna get it in just a couple of minutes. He likes to go for marathon shots, so he's probably gonna be done in about 4 or 5 more minutes. It's just how he does. He does this crazy bit. I don't know how he does it.
Practice.
Athletic violining, fiddling. Yep, one of those.
Very impressive.
Yes, it is. He's been doing this now for 10 years.
It's a short time.
Well, for him. That's not. Yeah. He's short. He's a dwarf.
Not racist at all.
No. Just drinking wine. Sipping my wine.
Yeah, he's,
How is that?
Quite delicious.
he's quite awful. He's good.
Yeah.
He's
Little
quite
note
awful.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matt. And I tipped him good too.
Yeah.
Tipped racist.
Yep.
I hate this city.
The city's great. The city's really, really good. It's really, really good. I like it a lot. I've been here for a while now. Been here now for 15 years. 15 years. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
not very long.
No. Well, for me, it's been a long time. Yeah, but 15. Yeah, I came here when I was 20 and wanted to make a great, bright, good future. But it just kind of ended up being bartending, and it's kind of nice. It suits me really, really well. I really like it. Anything else, by the way?
Nope.
Well, so you got the social graces of Rakaba.
That is not true.
just gonna-
My dad had no social skills.
None to pass on to his son, it would seem.
Wait.
Oh, sipping the wine.
But probably passed on the racism.
Yeah. This guy's a jerk.
Egrith goes outside.
Yeah.
You go outside for a minute, it kind of feels like a little bit more of the cold air, and you kind of take a break from your ears for a second, and just the harsh violin playing outside. And as you look into the distance, you can see some people walking along, looking at you for a second, and then darting back. And as you begin to walk over, you can see some dragonborn in the distance, and we're kind of scuttling over to a private house. Apart from that, it seems to be a rather quiet evening. As you
Yeah,
look
I'll
up-
just find a bench or somewhere to sit, and I'll uncork one of my free orc wines that I found, and just drink straight from the bottle with that, and just sort of enjoy a quiet night.
If you begin to sit outside, you look up to the familiar stars that you've seen just outside of Lake Reach. And as you take a sip of orcish liquor, you kind of feel the familiar burn of it hit the back of your throat. And as you look up for a second, you can feel this thought kind of come across your mind, that somewhere out there, your tribe is seeing the same sky that you do.
Oh, my heart.
And as that familiar burn hits the back of your throat, you feel mild comfort in that, in the silent night in Lake Reach.
That was really nice.
That was so nice.
That was so beautiful.
Meanwhile, back at the bar.
The ranch.
Not the chaoses, the racist.
Meanwhile,
I'm not a racist, but...
back while the devil went down to Lake Reach.
I'm gonna take a seat at the bar and
Yeah.
read my book I borrowed.
As So as the
It's a little bit of a hat.
yes. Ooh.
It's fine.
As it begins to
It's
no,
fine.
it's covered. It's covered. It's covered.
It's fine.
It's covered. It's covered. It's covered.
Yeah.
So as it continues to go through, you begin to read more of the book, and it's starting to get a little saucy. Yes. But they describe things poorly. Like instead of saying certain things, they say things like they dance around words. They say members and swollen.
Ooh.
Engorged is another one. They have like vague.
Like
Even.
engorged rosebud.
Yeah. Like they have like they use like coy language while also being indescriptive.
Just the coil.
So I'm just like softly like snickering away.
Yeah, like it's written so poorly yet hilariously that as you continue to read, you're like,
I love this.
yeah.
Yeah, but before it slips my mind, Rav, you seem a little bit uncomfortable with possessions. You seem a little weird about that sword I gave you. Is that... Should we... I mean, maybe Ruby would make more use of it if you're feeling a little weird about having too many possessions.
Ah, I can return it, of course.
Ruby,
Yes.
you want this really cool sword I found?
What's the sword
It's
again?
a +2 cutlass.
It's a cutlass.
So it's a long sword
Oh, it's a long sword.
that adds +2 to attack and damage.
It's very good. Very good. 'Tis very sharp, this cutlass.
Ruby picks it up and takes a look at it. I
And you can
guess.
see the bartender like, whoa.
Only looking, don't
What,
be
you never
frightened.
served adventurers before?
Oh yeah, that's not the problem. They just don't whip out their weapons in the middle of the
Well,
bar.
it's in a scabbard.
Not naked blade.
Well,
Don't be a coward.
I'm not a coward.
Get back to work.
I am at work.
So,
Just making sure the safety of the bar is the utmost concern. And he just goes over and he deals with 2v1. He gives them back a little bit of chains. He gives like 2 gnomes their beer. One half thing comes off. He gladly slips another beer over to them.
Uptight
And he just
bastard.
continues going over. The dwarf stops. He comes over and he's like, right, I've been told I have 3 beers. 3 beers.
Wait, was this the musician that
Yeah,
was
this is
doing
the
it really
musician.
good?
He goes over. You can kind of see his like bright red hair. As he goes over, he's balding onto the side. He just covers up with a hat, not like I'm doing now. And he goes over and he kind of takes it, and you kind of tell he's got like long red curls. It just kind of pops out of his hat almost. You can tell he's got almost leatherish armor, and you can tell it's been worn and kind of broken apart a little bit as he puts his fiddle away into its case. He goes over, and he, instead of like taking the beers like one by one, he just does this. And these are mine. And he just like takes them and he begins to like waddle over the side of the table. The orc that's on the side puts out a foot just to try and try and trip him, but the dwarf just like jumps over him and is like, "Ha! Shut up! You don't even know anything."
I'm gonna lean on the bar all sassy and use prestidigitation and make the wind like billow out my cloak really cool.
So as it flaps up a little bit, you can see like one person, like the edge of your cloak is like just dangling off the end of someone. Yeah, it's like flowing. It's like just dangling, just like close enough to be uncomfortable.
I will,
like a way too friendly shower curtain, just grazing the side of someone's cheekbone as it begins to like move back.
I will use
back.
thaumaturgy to make the ground move just a little bit.
And you seem very impressive as it begins to shudder out a little bit more as cold air flutters in from the back part of the bar, blowing inside of your cape, making you appear much larger.
I send a bunch of like fireflies. Same thing from before, just like randomly, just encouraging that. Yeah.
He's like sitting on the side, he's like just trying to get rid of them as he goes through. He's like, where are all these fireflies coming
You
from?
should keep doing that.
Ruby just like looks at you
I'm gonna-
guys.
I'm making more.
He's like, you.
I'm
no,
making
no
more.
bugs.
I'm gonna keep
no
making
bugs
them.
here. Not even things that look like resembling bugs. No
I
bugs.
cast
We have
it
enough
again,
light.
me.
I get it. No, yeah. A lot of things are positive. Bugs, not positive in a bar.
Oh my god, go back to cobbling.
I serve drinks. That is not cobbling.
No, that's an issue. That's the problem I have here.
Ruby's just like, keys.
Let's go. I'll help you to your room.
Gives you
You have 3
keys.
rooms, right? Yeah, 3 rooms, 3 beds.
Just like gonna go like storm upstairs.
Yeah.
Very dramatically.
As you go inside the stairs, you launch 1 foot down into the stairs. It's just kind of like, and you can just feel like a dent a little bit in the stairs. It's so loud as the bartender just goes, Goes up and he just continues to like walk up the side of the stairs. You just kind of more stomp than walk up the side of the stairs.
I think the goblins are following you.
Okay.
They're gonna make their nest in a room with you.
Oh, that's adorable. That's cute.
Shows a little
Nice to
Tucker.
walk in. Seems like a fairly standard room. Two beds on the side. Got
so-
some nice blankets.
So Ruby goes and goes to lay down the bed, looks at the goblins who have followed, and then grabs a bunch of the blankets like mentioned before, makes a little pile for the goblins.
Aw.
Since that's what they like, apparently.
Yeah, they like a little nest.
And I guess they all crawl in. And then Ruby
They do
sits.
leave a conspicuous.
Ruby leaves like just a
Monster-sized
little bit
space
of
in the
light
middle.
on, and he is going to write a letter to someone while the goblins go to sleep. And I guess now it's back to you guys.
I'm just reading my shitty book.
It gets prettier.
How's that
I am
going? Do I get-
loving it.
You're at a chapter called The Reckoning.
what is happening? How's the hero?
The hero's looking pretty banged up from various activities. Rope pulling happened, as well as different puncture wounds from various different places.
The hero is probably very sinewy. That's probably how
The
they're doing.
hero is visibly
Live.
wounded, both emotionally and romantically, as he begins to go throughout the end of the chapter.
Does it
End of
seem
the
he will
chapter.
survive?
It seems as though he's right on the edge, but you don't see that. As you begin to look further in the book, there's out of all the books that you read, this guy totally has plot armor. And there's sequels.
Is it like
and
the
there's
Star
sequels
Trek
among
thing?
sequels. Like you can
where-
tell this guy's living to the end.
Is it like when Kirk
And
gets
that
slashed
somebody
and then his nipples are showing? it's all
no,
sexy.
no, it's like Fabio, like the romance of Fabio with like on
Yes!
the side. There's like two nipples and there's like tiny little bit of illustrations. He wears a cod piece for no real reason, even though like parts of his jeans are
Warrior
bare, like
Fabio
like shit like that.
His long
is having
hair.
a difficult time.
Yeah, and he's like right at the apex of the story, where he really needs to just inject something with the right thing it needs to end the plot.
He has good plot armor.
Aisha makes way upstairs to like the next vacant room that we bought.
Yep.
And just like undoes her hair and just really needs her sleep.
You're gonna sleep without issue.
Yeah.
No problem.
Oh, do I have a sense of where my right hand is right now?
You can feel as though that whatever it is, it's still clutching onto the side. It's inside the walls of the Silverless district. It's
So not
in
too
the
far
walls
away.
themselves, like just in the boundary of where the Goldies and the Silverlips lie,
Okay.
almost underneath.
Oh, did that little bastard bury my hand? But it feels like intact, and I can still feel the tremor from the star.
Mhm.
Okay, that's the important part. Am I still hanging on to the thing?
Yes.
Not just another thing that was traded out because he thinks he's smart and I'm not looking.
Yeah, I don't know if he's capable of the intelligence part of the Temple of Doom you.
You're right? I'm concerned about that. I don't want to get Temple of Doomed.
Like how it's a verb.
It is
in
now.
this context.
Anything can become a verb if you really, really believe in your heart.
I don't want to.
Sorry.
You just gotta
Anybody else like
believe.
do anything tonight?
Before I go to bed, I want to do a primeval awareness. So as I'm like 3/4 through my bottle, I just sort of
What's the range on that again?
it's 1 mile.
You definitely feel a fiendish presence, as well as some others.
Like dragons, celestials,
Aberrations.
apparitions.
You definitely feel the aberrations and a fiend. And you can see one on the other end of the Silverlips district onto the Goldies. The same tower that the gnome was looking at before. It seems to be around that area. Additionally, you feel one just to the eastern part of you. It's kind of aberration that's pressed out into the Silverlips district almost. Tucked in between two houses. It's just outside of your vision, but you can tell its general vicinity. And it is eastern where you are.
I forgot about the evil gnome.
It's Finnegan. You were freaking out about him like 10 minutes ago.
No,
Finnegan
like,
is a
but
human. Finnegan is not a gnome.
Oh.
Although
Yeah.
oftentimes I think of him as a gnome
I
because
also
Finnegan's voice sounds like a gnome voice.
But no, but I was
Fiendish
talking about
gnome.
like the evil gnome that we
Yeah.
never met. I completely forgot of his existence.
Yeah.
Fiendish
Yeah.
gnome.
Non was going to deal with him, so I
Um,
hope she's okay. I must return this book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure exactly what kind of creature Finnegan was turning into, but would I know that like the spines is like a creature? Would I know whether a spiny devil, whatever he is a fiend or an aberration?
That would be a fiend.
But also, only Egrith knows this right now, right?
Correct. Everyone else went to bed.
Yeah.
No, no.
Oh
I'm
no,
still
these ones
reading.
are at the.
Did I go straight to bed or did I get a music lesson first?
I don't know, you didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I did. I billowed all cool like and like
To impress him.
Yeah,
Gave him a
strangely
charming
enough,
look.
that's not enough to seal the deal.
So,
Looking impressive
did
is
this,
not
so
enough.
did this attract attention?
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess it attracts attention.
I'm gonna buy him another one.
But he's already like drinking like one beer in,
Okay, I don't want
in
to.
already, as he just begins to
Destroy
drink
him.
another, and he just
Stop
keeps on
playing.
going. Like he just keeps on trucking. You get the sense that everything this guy does, he does very, very quickly.
Brett, careful when you bang on that because the mic is on the table.
Yeah, well, they should know.
We're not excited.
I'm having second thoughts. Lazarus going to bed.
So
You can learn a lot about a man by the way he takes his drink, I guess.
when I finish my bottle, I assume it's a few hours in and the bar is quieted down slightly.
As you go in, you can see Ravenel finishing off the end of a terrible, terrible book,
Yeah.
and just kind of sitting out in stunned silence of just how shitty it was. Of
Are
just
we-
like,
I'm still holding it up. Like I'm at like the rear page, and I'm still
God.
just holding it up, just kind of looking at it.
How was your codex of scribbles?
It was dreadful. It was dreadful. A masterpiece. But I must return it now. Very soon.
I took some time to meditate. I think I know where our Finnegan is.
Oh?
And there's another unusual presence in the city to the east.
How unusual.
Abhorrently unusual.
To the east, you say?
Between two houses. That's all I remember. We'll deal with it in the morning.
What drinking?
Huh? Yeah.
It's drink, yeah?
No, I already had a bottle, and I
Ah.
leave the empty bottle on the table.
Perhaps that is why.
looks down at the bartender, just looks down, and he's like, as he just like takes it, and you gotta tell like his face is one of impressedness that also the bottle is gone, and like he kind of feels as though he drank it all in one sitting, and he is also very impressed. As he
It's
just
also
takes-
I didn't buy it at his bar.
Yeah.
It's outside wine.
Well,
I didn't drink
it's-
it in his bar either. I
the
drank
absence.
it on the sidewalk or
It's
whatever.
the lack of booze in it.
Yeah.
It's that you did a whole
he
bottle
is,
of
yeah,
orchid
that he is
liquor.
suspicious of, not the fact that you drank
Surprised
it.
you didn't have to make me do a con check.
I'm gonna, for story purposes, I'm gonna say that you can handle it.
Okay, good.
That was I gave you that beautiful little thing.
Oh, that was
so
beautiful.
My heart.
Okay, I'm gonna go pass out on some goblins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you drank the puddle?
I find the pile of goblins and I curl up.
Yeah. I'm in bed at this
do,
point.
do the
too.
thing with the dogs do that they walk
Yeah.
around in a circle
Yeah.
and then they collapse.
Yeah.
that makes a
up with the
difference.
size of just your poof, like
Yeah.
your body slamming again.
But it's at your feet and you have this large mound of
Yeah, we're
fur
gonna
and
see.
armor.
So
I didn't take any clothes off.
I
just
think the
leave it
goblins
as
would
is.
probably like climb up onto you at that point.
Yeah, no, I'd expect them to.
Wait, so who's
So-
in this
so
room
that's-
currently?
At least a lot of
Fuck,
you're
too
in
many
there.
people.
And all the goblins.
Oh, yeah.
I think you and I are like
People who
next
wanted
to
a
each
separate
other.
room would get a
There's
separate
actually,
room.
Th-
so you get one to yourself
I got one to
because
myself.
we have three.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Shoal is.
yeah.
I think Shoal is curled up on my tummy, and then the two retainers have found spots in your fur.
Yeah.
Ruby is falling asleep on the letter that he wrote.
Face full of ink in the morning.
Yeah.
Aisha is like supposedly by herself in another
'cause
vacant
there's a
room.
third
Yeah,
room,
yeah.
so-
And she wants her own bed. So
I'm
she's like,
gonna. I think I noticed that, and like before I snuff the candle, I'm gonna kind of very gingerly try
Yeah.
to like just
Follow
lift
the
your
letter.
head and just so you don't wake up with just like the words
Yeah.
written backward on your face. And I don't read it.
Aw, so
Nice.
sweet.
Aw.
Snuff the candle and we go down.
Just 4 hours before dawn or so, I retired to my room to meditate.
As you retire to your room to meditate, you can kind of feel this vibration underneath your hand almost.
My
And-
right one?
Yeah, the
The
one that's
missing-
missing. And as you start to feel like this vibration, you can see it starts to move. And all of a sudden, as you begin to sense it, you just feel this breaking of two of your
God
fingers
damn it.
Oh.
as the vibration begins to end. And it is replaced with something else. Encrypted inside, and you can kind of feel its texture almost, like crinkled up paper. And you can feel like something trying to repair your broken,
Oh my
shitty
God.
fingers.
Which finger is it?
It's the middle, and
I can't even flip them off. I'm gonna
And you-
wiggle my fingers.
As you begin to
Just
wiggle
try
your
and
fingers,
grab
you can,
whoever
like,
did
still
that.
like grab it.
I want to try and grab
and
the
you just
person.
feel
yeah.
like you just feel like the crumpling of paper. Like whoever's doing this is taking a lot of care into it. And as they begin to like chain down parts of your hand, they begin to like tie like little pieces up to it, and they try to repair the two fingers that are currently there. Currently there, you feel like bits of wet liquid pouring down to the side.
They're trying to glue them back.
And as it
God.
begins to like your hand like kind of regrips, and you can kind of feel like this crumpled edge of paper that's just present within it, as it's just thrown, and as it's thrown out to the side, it kind of like, and it hits onto the side of something and begins to drag, and you can tell exactly where it is. It seems to have been thrown into an alleyway.
Oh.
Well, can I try and move it? Can I try and scuttle it to me? This is a little bit far, but
It's a little bit far. I think you're gonna have to see it.
I'll have to go get it.
But also, you're like when you find
Alright.
it, you can know where the person was.
Closer we, yeah. Yeah.
Are you gonna wake up anyone or no?
Won't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
I still need the rest, so I'll take the rest. I'm sure we'll be salty about it, however.
Your first mistake was trusting Skylar.
I did not trust him, that's why I sent my hand along. Shithead.
So long rest then.
Yeah, long rest time.
Everyone
Yeah.
levels
Oh,
up to
thank
level
God.
4.
Yes,
We are
we all
everybody's
level up to
taking care
level
of
4.
Yes.
That's copyright. That's copyright.
Oh yeah.
No, and we added
10
extra.
on the
No,
portent
joking.
rolls.
Change of it. Do.
Da, da,
There, that's our theme song. Questions.
And it's just like, oh
That's
well,
okay.
someone can
Da-da-da-da.
do averagely.
da, da, da,
Support us on Patreon, where we can afford
Yeah.
to commission a theme song of our own.
Maybe one day we can also afford a theme song.
We also need a team name one day.
You guys also need a team name, but like
One day,
that's
We
your
haven't
guys'.
done anything
Hey, it has to
Yeah,
just
we haven't.
naturally come
That's
out.
true. We haven't done this. Sorry.
It'll
My
get
Shoal
apologies.
hunters.
Warriors.
The Brave and the Chold.
We will find our name.
The bartender
The troll and
hecklers.
the restless. Have you ever said
The
something that you're
troll
like,
and-
I'm going to hell?
Oh,
for
yeah.
this.
Yeah, I've
Something
said
I'm
something
sad.
irredeemable, gang.
Next episode, Mav is
Troll and
gone.
the woodcutters.
Yeah.
Turns out there was a firing clause in the contract.
Oh, what a drag. All right. Long
Is it
rest
morning
time.
now?
Well,
Or-
I
I'm
came up
sorry.
with such a shitty pun. I guess though.
Do it.
Do
it.
Say
It's
it.
like you
Coward.
could have given Mav a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get ahead of myself, but I sure did lose a hand.
Yeah, but skinnier bones.
No, that was last time you got ahead.
Keep it up, keep it up, come on.
It's
One more
true.
pun? Okay, alright.
I think that's it.
We're on the roll.
I'm
Tapped
like-
out. Oh, okay.
How does Skylight get what he wants out of the skeleton hand? He snap, crackles, and pops.
I knew it was only a matter of time.
Sorry.
That's okay.
We all saw it coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old
Like-
college try.
It's not like we're surprised. We're
Yeah.
just
No.
annoyed.
Just, I'm not mad, Skellig. I'm just disappointed.
Aww.
I'm gonna tell him that, and then I'm gonna punch him really hard in the noggin.
Yeah,
Just
he
once,
really
controlled.
betrayed our trust, no bones about it.
Whoa.
for sure.
Oh, and that's the break, folks.
No, we still got a little bit more to go. We got a little bit more to go.
Oh.
So, as you guys continue to wake up and get yourselves out in the morning, as you guys creak out of bed. Some of you wake up earlier than others. As you guys begin to scuttle around the knoll and goblin pile that are currently right next to your bed as you went to bed first.
Yeah.
And as you begin to go downstairs, you can see the bartender, and he has all the oatmeal. He has 5 different types of oatmeal. Some of them look better than others, and some of them were made maybe 5 minutes ago. And he's gonna let the rest out just to sit until they're done.
Aisha quickly goes for like the best looking one, just sits down.
You get tastes of like apple and cinnamon, as well as some raisins.
Oh.
Ruby's gonna
raisins everywhere.
do the tip again, just like.
Going on the side, you can see the familiar half orc that's present on the side as he slept on the bar. Like, more shot glasses are there.
Oh.
You can see there are some sleeping on the side. You can see some early birds that are rising. Like you can see some half elves that are present there, currently drinking their coffee and their tea. You can see a human and a half elf drinking coffee by the corner. You can see a dwarf like inscribing something on the other side as they look out into the morning. As you can see, it's this beautifully lit and outside exterior. You can see a fountain going in the background. You can see people holding up their stalls. It's about pretty early. It's about like maybe 6 or 7. As you can see, merchants slowly starting to like build their stalls. More people starting to come in. The gates open on each morning. Some people from the Goldies flood out into the streets. Even fewer come in from the southern side where you guys came from, just to go around and start walking. And you start to see that it gets kind of busy. Like the streets at any time, at least on this street, where the fountain is kind of present around, fills up with like, there's at least 200 people at the square at one time. It gets busy.
I need to take a walk.
Do you want some company or?
If you wish,
Okay.
I'm going now.
I shall follow. I shall follow then.
We have
And,
to
like-
skylight because I wouldn't mind
What?
seeing how that one's doing.
I broke my fingers.
You know, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
You know, I thought that myself.
Ruby
And
grabs.
I walk for the door. I'm not waiting. And by now you guys are fairly familiar with my body language, so you can tell
Yeah.
like I'm annoyed, which is unusual. Like
Yeah, Ravno's usually so happy.
like pretty chill,
Yeah.
right? But I am annoyed, like stiff posture, rigid shoulders, like an angry little automaton. Well, not so little, like a 6'5" angry automaton, just like
As you begin to stomp
Marching out
through the
the
edge,
door.
like you can see some people who are just like purposely being like they're pissed off. As you just begin to like guide away from
Yeah,
you. as
people
you begin,
better
like,
move,
Yeah,
'cause-
people, like move and scoff.
like it's like get out of the way or I will go through you.
You can see like 2 gnolls that are coming out of the Goldies district as they immediately begin to walk out the side, one going east and one going west. You can see they're particularly well dressed. They're kind of like in oversized human's clothes. They're just kind of to fit a gnoll's body type.
Are you meaning to say gnome again?
Gnoll's body type.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said
So, like-
oversized,
Yeah, yeah.
So like
so it would be
7
like
feet tall.
undersized.
But they'd be like giant for people.
Yeah.
They're like very big for human
No, I
clothes,
know they're
but
huge.
fit the
Oh,
gnolls.
okay.
Yeah.
So
You
one's
see-
heading east and the other.
Is heading west, and one of them seems to like look at you for a second. They've got like much longer hair, and they're kind of tied up into these very, very specific braids. As he continues to go down the side of the street, you can tell that they're very wealthy. And as they begin to go over to the side, you can see a large greatsword that's kind of over to the side. As they begin to walk over down to Dervier Street, and they go into one of the apothecaries and continue making their way through the
Both
the
of them?
streets. Only one of them.
Okay, so the was that one better dressed or?
They were both pretty dressed, but this one
This one's
is
carrying the
following
great-
your current
Okay,
trajectory.
so this one
As you go towards the hand. As you begin to go through the hands, you kind of feel it, the hand in one of the black alleys, as the gnoll just like continually looks around for a second, continues to look as people like swarm around it, and they're just like, oh, like just very, very tall. Tall as the gnoll just continues walking past and dips through another street. They continues walking. But as you go through the side of the back alley, you can tell that there's a box over your hand. Like there is a small cardboard box that tried to very shittily cover up that there's a hand underneath.
I just
Oh my
pick
God.
it up.
So as you pick up the box, you just like throw it off this hand. You see your skeleton hand, like you see 2 fingers broken, and they seem to be like glued back together very shittily. There's hair in them.
Oh.
Like they tried to undo the damage as much as they did,
Oh.
but you can see this unsealed paper that's kind of like crushed inside your hands, almost. Almost,
I,
like,
I
part of
open
it
my
is, like-
hand
is,
so I
like-
can take the
is
paper
open-
out. I
and as you
haven't
see
picked it
it-
up to put it back on yet.
And as
I'm
you
still pissed.
See it, like one of your fingers went through the paper, and as you begin to like flatten it out on the side, you can see this very, very lovely paper with this very unique wax sigil on the front of it. And it reads in the front, "Welcome, royal guests. You have been invited to the unveiling of the first bardic performance by the esteemed son of Gargosella, Amaral Sella's first composition on violin.
He tried to give you concert tickets in exchange for the fucking eye of
The
whatever
party-
it was.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
The party will be hosted at 7 p.m. on the 46th of Summer 4 at the estate. That is
46th
tomorrow for the date.
of summer 4.
Composition begins at 9 p.m. Dress your best and come witness the next prodigy of Sala's line.
I throw this over my shoulder.
But you see another note that's just on the other side. It seems to be separate.
All right.
And written in the shittiest chicken scratch you could possibly imagine, written very, very quickly, but what you can only surmise as Scaleg's handwriting. It's I will be there to make the switch. The broken pillars will be there. What happens between you and them is none of my business. And thanks.
Okay, I crush it in my hand, like just in my good hand. I shove that awkwardly. It's really awkward watching me do this. Like, someone should help me, but
I'm there, so I'm helping. I'm right there, so.
and I'm a little bit like leave it.
Oh, okay, okay.
I just jam it into my
Everyone's
like pocket.
so grouchy today.
I'm like, first I used to
And then I kind of see your face fall, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. I have been intruding. I shouldn't have touched when.
Ruby and I are still at the bar, right?
Yes.
We-
I suppose I was gonna say I was gonna go with
I
them,
would've-
but that's okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I was
But
gonna
I guess
say,
I'm at the bar.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, hey, I know where Finnegan is. I meditated last night and I figured out.
Well, let's go. And he
Yeah.
dumps another oatmeal in his mouth.
He's like shucking into the oatmeal. The bartender's just like, oh, well, I guess. Have a good day, guys. Hope to see you back there tonight, I hope.
This is the only way Ruby consumes things, just like tip.
As you just like dip it as you begin to like run out to the side. You go out to the familiar street, and from what your primeval awareness could tell, it's the same one that the gnome was in previously.
Okay.
And you can kind of tell that it's on the other side of the Goldies district. And as you take a look off the gates, you can kind of realize the only way getting through is either from what you said
Yeah,
previously of the Begable's Claw,
yeah.
which you rumored, and which kind of explains the scratch marks on
Yeah.
the Goldie side of the district, which is only available to the Thieves Guild, or good
Uh,
old-fashioned pan up.
Would my slave robes work?
You'd have to have an escort.
I have a red dragonborn.
Red Dragonborn. You know what? You can either
Wait
one of you
a
can
s-
give me an intelligence check on this.
I just thought of something, but I don't know if this is like I
19.
have the armor from that red dragonborn and the scale.
Here's the thing. Probably. Because, yeah, you think you
All
can
right.
get away with it.
Yeah. So once we start approaching the Goldies district, and I realized where what district the towers are in, I stop Ruby and be like, "Hey, wait! They're probably not going to let us in because it's a different district, and this place is weird and has weird rules." But
This place.
I have one of those slave robes, and you have the armor of that other red dragonborn.
Are you saying all dragonborn look the same?
No, I'm saying you can dress like them, and that might be enough to sneak in.
Ruby, give me an intelligence check.
That's my weakest skill.
Oh no.
no.
Oh!
I'm dumb.
It's a 1.
You think this is the best idea.
Oh.
You're brilliant.
I have a big toothy grin, and I pull out the slave robe and put it on.
I put on the armor.
I like
Raid
that you
the
put on your
street.
disguise
Raid the
right in
street.
public.
right in the middle of the
Right
street.
in the middle of the fucking
It's
street.
just in the middle of the street. Unless you pull us over to an alley, but I'm not because I'm dumb.
Oh.
It's
So
not
as you guys
in
go
front
to the side of the
guard.
street, you can kind of tell that as you lift it, it's not as heavy as you think it is. Like when you first saw it, you imagined something that this luxurious would be very, very heavy, but it's not. It's actually quite easy.
If I'm looking around while we're
Yeah.
about town, am I seeing anybody that looks familiar like anybody that was with Bardis when we first met, or anybody that looked like similar accoutrement?
That would be a very, very specific thing to look for. That's going to be a perception check.
I'll try. I'm very bad at that, but nah, that's a 7.
You see people who look vaguely similar who you saw the Scourge, but that being said, there's a lot of people here. And suddenly the lines between who you saw there and who could be here are very blurred.
I'm gonna.
As well as you could probably make the intelligent leap that the people who are in the shantytown probably switch their dress.
I'm gonna. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like. Look, I'm gonna just stop and thoughtfully thoughtfully look around and like stroke my chin, just be like a little too loud. Man, I wish I didn't owe Bardis so much money. I mean, hopefully he won't find me in this district, but
You're saying this just in the bar?
no, I mean, we're on the street. I'm on the
Yeah.
street. Like,
Well,
I'm gonna
it's
see if
smooth.
anybody looks vaguely familiar and just a little bit too loud. Just so that-
I'm putting my hand
Yeah.
back on,
Yeah.
which I assume also
Goes on
pushes the
without
glue
issue.
out, fixes my
Mhm.
fingers.
Because, like, I mean,
Just
if this gets
cracking them.
once they describe me to him, he'll know that I don't owe him money, but hopefully he'll get the hint that I'm trying to get in contact with him.
Well, as people go through the street, they're not really paying too much attention to you, as you did not sneakily go in to the district. So, probably
to
it's logical
hide,
that Bardis already knows you're here.
Yeah. Well, if anybody is like keeping an eye on me, will hopefully hear that and understand that I'm trying to get in contact with them.
Hopefully.
But we'll see.
So as you two begin to go,
Also,
on.
Ruby takes off his fake eyelashes and his makeup which is the first time you've ever seen Ruby without them.
Oh.
You're just like,
No makeup Monday.
I try them on?
No filters. No,
no filters.
no edit. No filters.
Give me those
Because
eyelashes.
obviously the other Dragonborn did not wear this stuff.
as you go to the side of the gate, you two begin to like go up, and your jewels and your armor.
Here,
is
take
like,
this, and I pass you
Yeah.
I have the golden mace that they had too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You need to go through. You can see the front of the the guards. Two of them go over. You recognize both of them.
I'm just like, oh shit, oh
Hopefully,
shit.
hopefully they
Just don't look
haven't
at them in
seen
the eye,
any
just
makeup
go.
either.
You recognize one. One is the Jen.
The Jen?
Yeah,
Oh
you've known
my
about them for a
God.
bit. There's like one of the nicer ones. They got a pretty sweet gig here as they're from the other one. You've known them for a bit. They're kind of nice. They got a good job. They have no reason to be upset.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one's name is.
Oh god.
Oh no, I'm not using that name. Holy fuck, that name's awful. I just realized that like the random name generator that I used just went with Pen and East. So Penis is not his name. Is
And
Oh,
he's his
yeah.
white here.
Paxador?
Yes. Half elf that has been present there for a while. Very, very close to your old captain, Bulag. That was there.
Ruby's like, I don't know if Dragonborn can sweat, but
If they could.
The
If they could.
scales come out a little bit more. and they unfurl a tiny bit
Just
more.
walk quickly and don't
Might
look
be
anyone
a
in the
good
eye.
thing because you're probably. I think you were smaller than this one that we beat up. So maybe that's a good thing if you're.
If they go over to take a look at you for a second, can it's not even a disguise check. I guess
No.
it would be just a simple memory to figure out.
well, I'm a little bit
With
disguised. I'm not wearing
disadvantage
makeup.
without makeup.
I'm not wearing makeup.
Ruby always wears makeup.
Yeah.
This is the first time.
No, you could still tell somewhat of what people look like with it.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
They go over immediately and they're like, Ruby!
Oh.
You roll a
Yeah.
natural 20. And he's like,
Oh god.
and you kind of see this like through the air, this. He's like, Ruby, I didn't know you made it back in town.
Hi,
Hey,
guys.
you just see Paradox and he just like slams his shit. He's like, oh, yo, it's Ruby. They got this.
Oh.
Look at this new getup. This is
Oh my
crazy.
God.
This looks just like what Rashira has.
I forgot what her name was. I'm
That
gonna
was
write that
it.
down.
Maybe
No,
you.
When did you manage to
um,
get these new armor? This looks
Ruby,
great.
maybe
And they-
you should roll an
Reese-
intelligence
and they-
check to see
and they
if
go
you know
over-
what their affiliation
Yeah.
with.
I
the
they begin to like
other
he
Yes.
like goes over and he just like begins to like flick the bottom end of your armor. And he's
Yeah.
like, wow, that stuff's really strong. Hard to believe it's gold.
Is this a gold chest plate?
It's not gold.
I mean, it's got to be some alloy. Though.
Oh, I can't. It's
probably
gotta.
just
It's
gold.
gotta be worth something. Anyways, I didn't realize. Oh, and he looks over at the nose over the side. And he's
And
like,
you're dressed as a
Hey!
slave.
you know,
Oh.
Ruby. This
Oh.
this may not be so tasteful. I mean, like you've been here for a bit. Can you imagine if somebody went across to the Goldie's district and Bulog caught wind that we were putting a slave in here? This would ruin the decor, don't you think?
Wow, that's his concern. People suck in here.
Ruby
Maybe
is just like
son.
kind of like
Yeah.
grinding his teeth.
He's like, wouldn't you want to send them to like just like a bar or get rid of the hood? There's no need for this. Goldies just won't have that. That is unacceptable.
Ruby just like rips off the slave cloak. Good?
Well, it depends. You're not really. Yeah, you are appropriately dressed, but your friend here.
This is a witch.
Sorry. Well, what's your name? Sorry. Excuse me.
I just stay silent. I don't know what to do.
Does your
We're not
friend here?
anywhere
Your
near his
friend.
No, you're not. You
slave.
don't know where we went.
Ruby just like after he says that's just like
Because clearly you've lost a lot since getting out of the City Watch. I'm pretty sure Bulog would not want to hear about this. So I'm gonna cut you some slack. Because maybe you got hit in the head or something and you thought that somehow coming in here with a very, very nice outfit, and I'm sure it's great if it is not gold. I wouldn't know if you didn't tell me.
he's like
It might be best to, come here with a little bit more of a presentation idea. Especially, you can go through probably. I'm sure Bulag won't have a problem. I just need you to sign because you don't often come into this district, so you can just sign right here. And he takes over a quill and
Which clicks.
Clicky
Yeah.
quill.
Dex goes over and he gives him the
quill.
list immediately as he goes over to the side. He's like, you can sign in. I'm pretty sure you won't have a problem. Bulag is already inside. Please don't tell me you wish to come back because he's probably going to be really upset that you just, decided to bring, just into ruin the decorum of the Goldies. It's kind of important,
how awful to ruin the decor of such astounded people. Come on, slave. Let's go get you some better gerb. And Ruby just like flips his cloak and goes.
You can see as you hear it behind as he slams his friend on the side. He's just like, Ruby has lost his way.
Ruby's like this close to turn around punching that dude.
Oh my goodness.
This close.
Ugh.
Well, now what?
Let's just go find the others.
That was awful.
Did not go
Yeah.
well in any way at all.
I loved
Don't
it, though.
bring
I
slaves
was
in here, it won't look good. How about don't have slaves?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, this place sucks.
Have we seen?
I'm sorry I used that word.
I mean,
Have we seen
Fine, we're incognito.
Nether and Void yet?
Do you want to go there?
Have we passed it? Do we know where it is?
we must bring the 1313 there. But Earth has the 1313. And we have no
Okay,
egress.
so we gotta go there anyway. I'll wait.
So I guess
You'll see us wandering.
you'll see us wandering, Ruby not wearing makeup and armor, trying to look like the other Dragonborn. Oh god, wait, does anyone else think that I'm that
Yeah,
character
maybe,
walking around?
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Maybe a change.
It's like, how did
We
she
could've-
talk? I don't remember how she
Do you know
talks.
those guards? Can they just be bribed?
History.
You got this.
I do not.
No, you don't.
Oh, my book probably.
8.
Sure. Anybody in Lake Reach can be bribed, but these guys might require a lot.
What about that mace? How much do you think that's worth?
Your your character's retainers are with you, right?
Mhm.
Because I know that Scalag. Wait, sorry, wrong one.
Sure. You
Shoal. Shoal, like a kind
They
of.
don't all have the same name.
They all have the same name.
Mm.
I know Shoal could probably be like
I mean, she'll figure out if it's like a magical item.
just like Shoal is this gold?
I don't know if you'd be able to tell that. Are we together now again?
I guess so.
I
Again.
mean,
Sure, as you
try to
guys
find us.
manage to kind of all get together in the center of the city square,
Why are you not wearing makeup?
you can see like people are just like slowly starting to go away as what you see almost looks like Rashira in the distance. And slowly come up. The dead dragonborns go over his shoal. Takes a little bit of a second to realize, oh no, it's not Rashira. That's that's Ruby in Rashira's clothes.
With no
Oh.
makeup.
And the mace
No makeup.
in no makeup.
You look beautiful in the makeup too.
Thank you.
Can I try on your eyelashes?
Ruby helps you put on the
Yay!
eyelashes.
In the matted face of fur in the Noel face, they are totally lost. They do not have any effects.
Ruby says, "You look gorgeous."
I feel gorgeous.
That is important. I'm still like flexing my hand, like.
Can all of you please give me a perception check, please?
Oh gosh. Oh no.
Oh, not 2.
Ooh, I got
11.
18.
Oh, doesn't matter. I got
I am distracted by my eyelashes.
Yeah, 18.
It's like.
Yeah, but you still get the same as me though.
Okay,
We
yeah.
both got 11.
They go out so far.
So, Lastra and Ravana.
Please give me
Just for you to
tips
go
on
over,
makeup.
you can see somebody just leaning up against the wall somewhere across the fountain. You can see about a half elf looking over, and as you begin to look at them for a second, they're wearing like this kind of like this black leather. As it immediately moves over, you can see like the tiniest flap of a brown leather piece just kind of drapes down from the side of their right leg almost. And as you look at them for a second, they like take a look at you, and they just continue to kind of make eye contact with you for a second, and they just kind of slip away into the back alley almost.
Someone is watching us.
Did I make eye contact with him?
Yeah.
If so, I
You both
wink.
did.
I wink at him before when he's about to head out.
Do I could, if I see him, I could cast Hunter's Mark, but I rolled really shitty perception.
Eh.
You are
Well,
you are definitely being watched by somebody.
I didn't see like that leather piece. It didn't seem to have like the Thieves Guild sign on it.
Nope, just seemed to be a piece
Okay.
of brown leather.
Well,
No insignia at all that we could see.
Not from this distance.
being watched might be my fault. Hopefully, that's someone of Bardis's people. We want to have a
You could do it.
conversation
You
with
could
them.
probably do an insight into the.
I'm happy to do that.
I'm bad at insight.
That was a natural
fuck.
20.
Oh, nice. Woo!
The black leather would probably give away to the Thieves Guild of what you've seen previously, but the brown leather seems too well placed. This is the same type of brown that the Scourge was having.
Perhaps the Scourge. I thought Thieves Guild at first, but they seem to be dressed like Thieves Guild while belonging perhaps to the Scourge.
Well, maybe we all need to be a little
Pretty much
less
we wanted them.
conspicuous. We have a hobgob squad.
Trying to have a.
Uh,
Look, I'm trying to get a meeting with.
a dead red dragonborn slaver walking around.
I'm trying to get a meeting with
Oh
Bardis.
yeah.
I don't think there's anybody
Just like-
in this city that we can trust whatsoever. But I think Bardis is the closest thing, and I know where
We need to
a
go to
certain
another
item
void.
that has been removed from a certain hand might be located.
Actually, there was a note I didn't share with you. We've been invited to an event. Just look at it. And I rip like the crumpled invitation like out of my pocket.
Can
like,
I
And I give it to Lasgard.
look around at how like the nice people, like what kind of clothes people are wearing here, and kind of like shape my enchanted outfit to be something more closely resembling that?
Sure, that shouldn't be a problem.
Hell yeah.
You can kind of see the differences
Fashion
between the two of
problem.
them are in material. Like, not immaterial, I mean immaterial. Like the physical materials themselves, like some of them are wearing higher class leathers. Some are incorporating like shinier metallics into their jewelry.
I
Some
mean,
are
my
wearing
shit's
gold.
pure spider silk,
Gold,
so
like-
that's gonna be pretty fancy. I
Yeah,
think.
that's probably
So
not going to
as-
be so
As
bad.
long as I can get the fashions,
Yeah.
get the designs a little bit
They
right.
kind of look more of the same. They'll have similarly like a vest, like a shirt over it, long pants, different boots. But a lot of it seems to be in jewelry and type of materials. You can see some
Nice.
dresses around. You can see some breastplates that are a little bit more fancifully decorated.
Mm-hmm.
You can see each of them that come through. Like the ones that belong to the Goldies are obvious. They show off a little bit more. They have prettier earrings. They have nicer haircuts.
I mean, if we're gonna be going out to this,
Some of them
if we're
wear,
gonna be going to
as
this
you
event,
kind
I
of
just
look a
want
little
to
bit
look
closer,
nice.
some of them wear fake moles, stuff like that.
Oh, I have a mole.
Ooh.
Yeah, but these are fake.
But your one's
Oh.
legit. Yours is real.
Yeah.
You're fancy.
So we're gonna dress up like them or what?
Ruby probably really appreciates their
Yeah.
makeup skills.
Yeah.
Like,
Intrigued.
Yeah.
So, the event is tomorrow night, and Skellig will be there, and so will the Broken Pillars. Should be interesting.
Well, we have a wine delivery to make.
We have two, I believe.
We have to deliver this Nether and Void wine to the Nether and Void.
Aye, and we should see Caesarea.
And, yeah. And there's those black vials. There's 13 of them. Are those also going to the Nether and Void?
Alright, so my thought was.
no, those are supposed. Well, they were supposed to go to
Do I remember
Bardith,
Do I remember
but
where?
we were gonna swindle him.
What
No,
Bardis?
no, the 1313
Oh, the 13
goes
is
to Bardis.
okay.
And that's not the stuff that needs to go to the Nether and Void.
Correct. There's a
Okay.
different
Okay.
kind of wine going to Nether and Void.
Okay.
But we have it.
Mhm.
Why don't we go there first?
That's all anyone can talk about.
We might as well, you know. I was just thinking with the 1313, if we can use it to curry favor with Bardis, it seems like he's got connections, and
Here, bring him this, and I give you the empty bottle. That'll.
just
This will screw with him.
This isn't how you build connections.
No, but it shows that we got the goods.
Look, I know that
It's called negotiating.
I know that out in the wilderness, you know, people like us, our senses of diplomacy are a little bit cutthroat. But here, you know, you gotta smooth relations. You know, Bardis could be a valuable ally.
He introduced us by shoving crossbow bolts in our face.
Yes,
He missed.
he was. I believe he was trying to ascertain what our intentions were in the
Or
city.
our resistance to
If-
arrows.
we were going to be any kind of a threat to, you know, the people that live in his district, then he wasn't going to take kindly to that. I mean, I've been doing diplomacy for a little while. I'm no stranger to, you know, a little bit of a show of force to, you know, perhaps cow those who might be enemies and, you know, squeeze people's intentions out of them.
Well, for now, I'll hold on to the 1313.
I think that's the
If
best
you
bet.
want to show him
If you
proof,
get jumped for it, you're gonna be able to hold him off a lot longer than me.
Yeah.
So
if you want to show him proof that we have it, bring him the empty. And if
Makes
you
sense
want,
to
you
me.
you can play some mind games and say that we drank it. That's up to you.
As you begin to go on to the further end of the Nether and Void, you come across the street, and you, Ravenel, see a familiar face. The same Knoll that was present before you. You, Ygritte, don't see a lot of Knolls like this.
Who the fuck is that?
You can see he has like a huge scar, like present all the way down to the side of their maw present there. You can see like a flap of skin that kind of moves up past the scar. You can kind of see like hair that's been brushed back, black fur.
Fancy.
Fur kind of slicked back to the side to make it look almost as regal as possible. And they're wearing this large breastplate. plate over. As you can see, like a very large great axe strapped to their back.
Any insignia?
And as they go, I'm getting.
Oh, this isn't one of the fancy dress knolls that these guys saw earlier?
This one, yeah, this is one of the two.
Oh, okay.
This is the one that went off in a different direction.
This is the one that went west?
Yes. And as he goes off, you can see a large battle axe that's kind of present on it. You can see almost
the first
flaming
level.
scales begin to wrap around the side of the battle axe. And you can see they're over by the other end of the gate, and they're like bringing 20 people from the shantytown into the Silverlips district. And as they begin to like guide them over to the side, they kind of make their way through up to the Silverlips and Goldie's gate. As he just throws an amount of money at the guards, and you can see Rex, your elven friend, over to the side, be like, "You can't!" And the gnoll just like slaps him off to the side and backhands him, and the gnoll just looks up and just as you let the gate and the doors open, and they let the gnoll through with 20 other people following them, still dressed in shantytown garb.
I just like the look of that.
Yeah, this doesn't seem right.
Ruby feels kind of like he wants to go help that guy up, but at the same time, that guy was a piece of shit.
As it goes through that, you would identify those as somewhat within Gnoll cultures. Those who go to live inside civilization might have a different kind of take, but usually those are seen as more or less betrayers.
Mm.
Those that rejected the Gnoll way of life in search of something new in the city are very, very highly prized. And seeing something like that is kind of different. It may be a sign of shock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm still digesting this. Part of me wants to go over and tell him everything that's going on, but knowing that, he probably doesn't give a shit.
Show people a lot of reasons for leaving.
He's dressed up like a poodle.
Are we also dressed well for this occasion?
Oh no, I'll just like
Sort of.
Is the fur
Well, I
is
still
the
look
fur
like
styled
this-
also?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Is the fur all styled all fancy?
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Could I
I'll
also
just
use,
like
yeah.
give him like the like. What the fuck?
Does
Like,
not even look at you.
snort in his direction.
He's already walked past. Gone.
Ah.
Ruby's not paying attention
I saw
because he's
this with the
reapplying
other.
makeup. He needs
There
makeup.
was another one.
There were
I need
two
tips later on that.
like this. One I saw go east and into one of the apothecaries. And this other was with them.
You should just use presentation to just make a nice ball gown or something. Fine clothing on it.
Prestidigitation
No,
does
that's not how
not
it
do that.
Oh, it isn't. It's not like an.
You can't bippity boppity
No.
boop your way.
I want to do that. I want to be Cinderella.
Yeah, you
My
wanna get
glass
this guy
Can
first.
you bippity
I'm
boppity
joking,
do
I'm
my
joking.
armor to have a
Just
different
asking.
insignia?
As you guys make your way through to the Netherland Void, you can kind of see over to the side it kind of is in a darkened space with this large pillar present. It's kind of got this little awning that shines through and kind of blocks all light inwards. You can kind of see the inside of it is through the windows. It's kind of lit very, very dark. You can see purple lights lit inside. This bright, like, kind of purplish, blackish atmosphere. You can tell there's a collection of skulls on the inside. Just on the side of the wall. You can see right underneath of the wood-burnt sign on the top of it. It says the Netherland Void, and it says very much in the bottom. It says, Saren Apothecary Errands.
Saren.
I love that so much.
And it's just like, keep it together, laugh. And I could not keep it together.
As you begin to look in, you can see on the other side, you can see a tall elven man with circular glasses. With they seem to be silver, and you can see like these long black claws, seemingly just dress off the side and tap. You can see he's kind of dressed in this very, very, very nice kind of black garb that continues to go out in coattails. He goes into the side. He's dressed. He's got a cane that's pressed up on the side of the wall. Large ears that are kind of decorated in these long earring patterns that kind of decorate down. You can see a little bit of a, from what you can identify, give me a history check. when it comes to Saren Saren.
I'm pretty good at history.
This would be for. Do we have a person from Saren Saren?
Yeah, yeah.
I
Sorry.
see.
This is something regionally specific.
Oh wow,
Ooh,
shit.
the
19
curse is
plus.
broken.
I know. So totally 21.
This person is a member of one of the royal families in Saren Saren. You can identify the sigil that goes present over to their island and moves back as these kind of vines that whip around
Uh-huh.
and thorns. And this person is a member of the Thorn family. Kind of very, very regionally wealthy, very, very fixed on the occult and other matters. They usually make their living and their ranking in Saren Saren for more or less occult practices and rituals.
Oh, that's so neat. She just fixes her hair. Oh,
And as you begin to go in, you can feel the curdling in your blood almost, and you can feel this kind of wiggling
oh.
inside as it kind of stirs up the side of your arm and up into your chest. And you can feel that there is something here. There's a connection past here. You've done this almost before. This person took something from you. And you can kind of feel it inside of the back of your mind. And it kind of peers in a little bit more. You can feel this almost etching, this scratching into the back of your mind. And you just hear one word, Bloodwell. And we're going to take a break. Hello, and welcome back to Quests and the Quiz. So last time you guys let off in your recent investigations to find out more about Lake Reach, you guys left off looking into the Nether and Void, a place that you've heard talked about several times. Just before you guys went in, you managed to have a voice pop into your head almost that just says Bloodwell. And before you begin to look in a little bit further, you can see the L4, kind of a slender flame, tallish. And you got this long straight hair. He has kind of wavering fully, kind of breaks out on both sides, obscuring the ears. Large earrings that are kind of draped down into this pattern. And you just kind of see him outside for the moment. And you can give me an Arcana check. What are you guys doing over there?
Oh.
Is this for everyone?
Yeah, no, it's just me.
No.
Or just
It's
Aisha?
4.
Oh.
Sorry.
You've heard about it
Be crime, be
in
gay.
some places.
Okay.
But you don't exactly know what it is or what it does. It doesn't seem to be something that you've something that's often used in Saren Saren or otherwise.
All's well?
Sort of. That gentleman over there, the elf, looks familiar, and just had a voice in my head that said Bloodwells. I'm not quite sure what that means.
A voice.
A bit worried. Yeah, a voice. I always have voices.
Was it Finnegan?
It was not Finnegan. It was not Finnegan. It just said Bloodwells.
You know who it was?
Didn't seem familiar. Too familiar to me. But I do suggest that we should talk to him. This elf right there with the jewelry on his ears, which is really pretty.
Just let me finish my makeup.
Yeah, let me just do my hair real quick, because I
We
feel
put
like
on new eyelashes. You
we
can
do
keep
not
with
look any
those.
like this guy over here, and we're really underdressed.
Is there anything else we should know? Like that he's a member of the royal family and he's part of the
Oh,
family?
yeah.
Do not play Jackie's game.
No.
Jackie play his game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
I
I had this feeling that Jackie maybe forgot during the break, and I was trying to help.
Thank you. Yeah, he belongs to the Thornis family, which is really up there. Really up there. In Saren. We are not dressed well, people.
I am.
Oh no, she totally always is, but this is not tight enough. Okay.
Also, just because of the sheer amount of fabric, whenever I have to make it more fitting clothes, I also have a really cool cape as part of it. Because otherwise it would just be too much getting in the way. So I'm very fancy, almost all white. I think the panels that are the pages of my spellbook are, I think I have a bow tie. That's some of the colored panel.
That might look awful.
It won't though, because I'm wearing an all white suit with a cool pastel bow tie.
You're wearing a cloak, aren't you?
Oh.
And
But no, I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing. That was a compliment. My God.
maybe the collar, like just
With the skull still there?
just the best
Are you
parts
still wearing
that
the
are-
spider silk cloak?
Yeah,
It's just it
That's my
reconfigures
garment.
it.
Yeah.
it's enchanted to look like I can make it look like other.
yeah.
I can shape it like other like
Yeah.
garments.
Ooh.
Yep.
So I just have some strategically. The colored pieces are strategically placed, almost all white.
Yeah.
But,
Um,
but the
pastel
skull is
colored
still there,
accents.
right?
But oh yeah, I
the
still got my
shaded
cool.
star.
Yeah.
So I look at you. Look at Lazarus, and I said, "Hey, do you want to walk with me and maybe greet us to this royal member of the family?" The ones-
Elf royals
Yeah.
going to how are they going to feel about you're a member of an important family, I understand. How are they going to feel about you hanging out with goblin diplomats?
This point doesn't really matter. Too much has happened, but let's just
Alright,
yeah.
I'll try not to show them up too much.
Get it over with.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna put on all of the airs I have.
All the airs.
All of the, yeah,
All the airs.
putting on
Putting
air.
on all
Put
the
all
airs.
of them.
I do.
Ozone.
Yeah.
That's a cool type of air.
I do, however, hide my skull. I put in my pouch thing, so just kind of put that far away, like my little arcane focus. Just kind of put it. Just. I
I mean,
should
my
just.
focus still looks cool.
Mine
It looks fancy.
Mine.
Ruby
I
still
don't
looks
know.
good
Polished
in
and-
his armor,
Yeah.
which was owned by a slaver.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Something
Doesn't
like
take away.
that? Like, is it like that kind of
Pretty
idea?
much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like what
Camera?
type of idea?
Okay, so I drew like a typical, like kind of like white suit, and she has like these large pauldrons, and then like a large
Probably.
what would you call them? Lapel that goes
Probably
like
fine. I
that
put it in
encompasses
right
the head,
before,
kind of like a villain, and
Pretty much.
a large black flowing cape.
It's not the right grind, so there's going to be a lot of extra blood on the bottom. Don't
For
do
our
It's gross.
podcast viewers
So
in
don't
the
drink
future.
plastic.
All right.
Alright.
So only you two are going in.
Yeah, we're gonna go talk to.
No, I'm coming with them.
Oh yeah, and all yeah. Sorry,
Do
all-
I
yeah, all this.
go the extra step and have a pure white top hat also?
Can it be a
You
tiny
can't just
one?
materialize the top
That is
hat.
too much.
That is
Can it be a
too much.
tiny
I mean, I can do it. I can make it into headwear. We've established that.
I mean,
Yeah, but like
no. What I'm going.
what you're basically saying here is that there's got to be some rules to it. It can't be
tiny one.
anything.
Oh, so cute. They put a side too.
I'm just asking. I can make it into a hood instead of a
hood,
collar.
Yeah, a hood is fine, but like a separate
For
hat.
that hat.
The
no.
collar. I mean, the collar is meant to be able to go into headgear. That's
Yeah,
sort
but
of
you,
what
then
I'm.
you can't
Yeah,
just like
but
detach
it would have
Like,
to
it would-
change its shape in a very.
Yeah, it would have to
specific
be shaped in a very specific way.
At any rate, I think it's too much.
Someday. Anyway.
So as it continues going forward, you three manage to go through the top, through the room, and as you immediately go through, you two wait outside. So I imagine you guys didn't say you're going in.
Yeah, I have the
hold on.
wine though.
Yeah, so, you
like,
must come. Or you can pass it along and we can deal with this while you wait.
I guess so. Yeah.
You're
You guys take the wine. I'm gonna go somewhere else for a second.
I mean, you're known to be tenacious, but you're as much of a diplomat as I am in your own way.
Wherever you go, you should not engage.
I only meant
with
that about
class.
50% as passive aggressive as it sounded, by the way.
Do you want me to come with you or not?
I mean, you're one of. I don't want to. Look, what's the point of diplomacy if we're not going to just be the group that we are? You know, you played your part in this more than some of us. I think you know, I don't think we would have gotten all that without you. So
Join us. Yeah, let's go together.
Okay.
Yeah.
You also joining them?
Ruby?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm drawing.
I'm drying.
No, live streaming.
Hair and shoulder.
As you guys continue to walk in, you guys see the door being the scuttle open. The moment this door swings open, you hear
they're into that
like
kind of thing.
shing immediately off from the top of the door. And door as it comes in, it keeps on rattling. The more people are let through. Egrith, Egrith, you're gonna have to like duck a little bit as the place is a little bit. The door is a little bit too too short for you, but the ceiling is fine once you get in there.
Yeah.
And as you can see the four kind of purplish lights that come off the corners of this place, and it comes across a shop counter that's seemingly a wall with vials and different oddities, like tentacles in vase jars, flowers that seemingly stand really large entire terrariums. Some of them seem to move and vine across them. You can see artificial lights that are placed, different aquariums with creatures that you haven't really seen before. What appears to be a lava lamp that is in the corner of it seems to be falling up spores that seemingly descend and go down caught in the lava lamp. They seem to change, they move.
I always get nervous when I hear the word spores.
Yeah, because the other campaign. Yeah, I'll do it. As you continue to come through, his voice kind of changes. He says, "Hello, all of you. What can I get for you today?"
We come with a delivery.
Junk.
And what is this? He just kind of goes over to the side and he takes out
A lost shipment of 7 bottles of Nether and Void wine.
Oh, thank you very much. I heard that went off on the side of Lake Reach. Thought for sure somebody would get it else by now. He just kind of like
Well,
shifts it up on the
Wait,
side.
and I put my paw on it and like,
Are you aware of the fact that the boat did in fact sort of crash?
Yes,
And are you aware that it crashed sort of right in the core of Chol territory?
not entirely aware of that. No.
The retrieval
And
was quite
so-
dangerous.
Perhaps a hazard expense might be a good idea.
No problem. What do you think would be suitable? He goes over to the side.
Shit.
And he takes it down.
7 bottles. How much do you think they sell this wine for? Do an inch check
You could
or
also
do a
trade it
price?
for anything useful, like spell
Yeah.
components or anything like that. Seems to be a place that sells those things.
Should we ask for a discount? Or
Trade. The trade seems more valuable, or just
would
straight up gold.
I have
history
no
check
bearing in this.
perhaps tell me like what kind of what that would be a typical thing around here, like what that goes for, or would that more just be like a general intelligence check?
This is the Nether and Void wine, not the cast of 13.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just mean like in this part of the world, what
A high
like
price
you know
bottle
what
of wine
people
would be.
I mean what these like what a hazard charge, because like presumably the wine itself has already been paid for,
Yes.
so we're not going to get paid for the wine,
Mhm.
but I'm just wondering
did.
if like
Well,
because he asked me
can I
what is
make-
it do you think is a good hazard charge? Do I know like what mercenary groups around here like would consider a good hazard charge or something like that?
Or similarly, we could make an insight check, or one of us could make an insight check to see what is a lot of money to this person.
That's true.
What does this person think of as a lot of money?
That could be an insight.
I'll do it. I don't care about this though. It's a good insight check.
Nice, nice.
That is 18 plus 5, which is 23.
His idea of a lot of money is you can tell as you take a good look at his garb and the way that his kind of, I guess, supposed wares that would be on the side of his wall. Maybe you can tell that he's not, that he comes from money, but he's frugal. Like, all of these things are carefully curated on the side. He gives this kind of, this air of sophistication, but also you start to notice that some of the materials aren't made of the best things.
He is wealthy, but
Are we in the Goldies right now?
No.
Silvers.
Okay. All right.
but he hoards.
You know
If we must spend time on this.
we have business in the Goldies as well. Just we're in a bit of a not in a hurry, but we're a little pressed for time. Perhaps if you have any, we could put in a good word for you if you are able to be a little bit on the generous side. It was very dangerous after all. Do we still have? Did anybody take a Chol piece?
Oh, I have the bug.
I have pincers.
I have the baby bug.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, not
you
the baby.
did.
Show the pincers.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, I tried to scavenge, but I failed.
I took some of my pincers.
Well, this pincer was huge at the size of the chow. Like, it was massive.
Okay.
Like, it was
Yeah.
able to get you onto the side.
Yeah.
So just pulling it out
Yeah,
now
it-
would be fucking
Just
massive.
so you're aware of what it is that we were imperiled by.
All right.
could have pinched one of us.
Yeah, like this, like 2 of us went down from this. Oh my gosh.
Pinch.
Well, it clearly wasn't too dangerous. You seem pretty well rested.
Well, yes, because we're rested.
Oh, I wish I
We
was
were-
the kind of person to just take off a hand and be like, I lost a hand! Robin, I would never.
Like, well,
I mean, we
So-
are
so-
capable, but you have to understand the sort of resupply after a dangerous mission like that. It puts us danger of being in arrears from time to time. So,
how much in arrears would you suggest?
What do you think is fair?
Do you have,
See, are we gonna keep on
Just
doing
to-
this back and
do
forth?
you have
Or-
potions of healing? Do you
I
have
do.
gold?
I do.
Those
Do
are
you have
things we're
fancy
interested in,
dress
it
wear?
Fancy dress wear, I
down the
unfortunately
rare
do
side.
not specialize in.
Where can we
Potions
get
have a
fancy
couple
dress wear
valuable
for
money.
I agree.
for a no?
well,
Probably Vashus would be the one you'd want to go talk to.
Vashus?
Personal tailor.
I suppose potions is
Oh,
a
and
little bit
tell
more
him
di-
Leola
of a
sent you.
direct assistance. You know, skip the middleman and all that.
Oh, can I make an insight
that would
check to make sure
certainly
that's
be-
good advice? I learned something from another game with you. That was a natural
Ooh.
20.
It's the third one tonight.
No,
Wow.
that's 2 out of
Oh
me.
my god,
That's-
that's
The dice tower
awesome.
loves you.
Yeah.
These are supposed to be my balanced dice, too.
he is telling the truth.
All right.
Like,
So he's not being like, say Leolar sent to you, and we'll get there and be like, Leolar sent to you, and Vashus will be like, he's a prick and I hate him, and now I hate you.
So,
No.
I like the idea of
certainly
potions.
potions, maybe some materials to, copy spells out of a spell
Oh.
book. That's certainly very helpful to us.
yes, of course, that type of stuff is very, very easy to come by. I could give you probably a liter of it at a relatively cheap price, but for bringing back this wine, I could probably give you 1 liter for free. I think that's about reasonable.
In addition to these aforementioned potions,
I could give you about 3.
I think we in business? In
Yeah.
business.
Right. And he just goes over to the side, he leans down, and even though he leans down and he crouches, his back is still over to the side, just to give you an idea of how tall he
God.
is. His back still reaches over, and he's like, "Ugh," and he just like picks up 3 bottles in one hand, and one in the eye, just like plows.
So
puts
what
them
are
down around
these?
his-
In money, in money value a liter, how much? Because the guidelines are by value of this stuff.
Yes, what's the value
So
of
what's
the
the
leader?
like? What would the value? Because it goes by it's 50 gold worth of materials per level.
Yeah, this is about, from what you can tell from the liter container, is about $125 gold worth.
25.
Like, it's a
that's
lot of
weird
ink.
I mean, that's not that much, considering a first level spell costs 50 worth to copy.
But it'll do.
But
And what are these potions?
You know he's
These
stingy.
are 3
Mm.
potions of healing.
And 3
Sure,
potions of
that
healing.
sounds pretty good. I'm pretty good with
Yeah.
wine for healing potions.
And
That
If
seems
we were-
more than acceptable. And he begins to take the cast down.
So
cast
I'm
shove it
gonna
over the side
take-
and just-
Yeah.
Well, I actually
Rating.
have healing magic, so like Aisha and Ruby should take 1 each. Do you want to take the 3rd?
sure.
Okay.
I'm
I don't
squishy.
need those.
Yeah, you guys
Is it
take
just a
it. I
regular
have healing
potion of
magic.
healing?
Yes.
Now, if I were to purchase more of this ink from
Just,
you,
just the potion.
what would your
healing, right?
rates
Yeah,
be?
just
for
a
that?
regular
Rate speed? No.
like 3d6 or whatever it is.
Gotcha.
I have to say,
Or is it d4s?
this stuff goes actually quite a
It's
while.
3d4.
It is very, very durable. It is made purely out of the wood bark of Saren, as well as a mixture from the other geological deposits just past the Fioli Mountains. So I would have to say, per liter, per 500 milliliters, about 80 gold.
Okay, do the other stuff while I do math to see what I can do.
What else? What other drinks do you sell?
The better question would be, what is...
So he's selling these at a bit of an
Take-
inflation.
Well, they are the highest quality.
Do you have armor, weapons?
I unfortunately do not do that. You may actually be better fitted to go another one of my friends.
Mhm.
Sorry, excuse me. He takes out a small little book and he just starts shuffling. Like,
Just thinking out loud, do you know any places that might be interested in just sharing of magical knowledge to begin with, and might
Actually, that is unfortunately rather restricted, and only due to either apprentices or the masters themselves within language. Those of you who are magically inclined do not stay in a district for long before being called up to another.
I mean, I am third head of the Tower of Mystics, if that helps.
Don't know what it is. Yes, you might want to check for the armors you're looking for. Mystically enchanted armors, or just plain old ones.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised you don't know what that means.
Oh.
Well, it's halfway, I guess, Tower's fault for not doing good advertising. You said you were looking for armors? You said you were looking for armors?
End this quickly instead.
Yes, you can try two. Are you looking for enchanted
Don't take
or
advice from arrogant
armor
fools.
makers themselves?
Well, I don't know if my budget is ready to handle enchanted armor, but just tell me where to look anyway. I'll check.
I
it out.
have two actually. You have Emor's armors that are about two blocks down southward, and immediately after that, it's all the way across the street. It more or less does in high quality armors. I know he personally did the city guard armor for several years. This one is a brass effect.
Cool, thanks.
Amour's armors.
Crass effects. That was lovely.
Good job.
I had to write it first before my brain could comprehend.
Yeah, me too. I was like, what is it? Oh.
That is totally something that I would do.
That's awesome.
Were there other deliveries we had to do in the Silver Lips district?
Yes. Yes. One of some importance to me.
Aisha,
Yes.
just floating this. In the interest of expanding magical knowledge, would you like to take part in the process with me and perhaps help me get a little bit more of the materials?
I would be honored. I would like to see what you do. I would love to be part of it. Yes.
I knew I liked you, Aisha.
No, I like you too.
Okay, so quick out of character math moment. I have 250 gold. To get a liter and a half would be 240. And so how much are you willing to help out with this?
I can't help you.
How much do
Yeah,
you?
because you already split. Everybody
Yeah.
everybody got 250 from that job.
Yeah.
Because I didn't take the gold.
Yeah.
I can give you
I
some
have like
gemstones.
3 gold right now.
My gold's
And
written on my other
that's what I
sheet.
got.
Holy shit! Wait, do I have gemstones still?
I'm just gonna get up and get it.
Oh, right, we have
Yeah, we
gemstones.
can sell. I guess we can sell them.
That came off for Shira's mace.
Oh my gosh.
Gemstone. Shit. How much gemstone do I have? I don't think I'm in possession of any gemstones.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No.
And
Shit, we got some gemstones.
at least we always know I didn't. I didn't take them.
Only, I mean, if my mother were here, she'd be able to tell us how much these gemstones we go to worth.
I have gemstones too.
Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, bye.
Anyway, so if I'm gonna spend my 240 gold,
I leave.
Me too!
Sorry.
This place is
alright.
pointless to
Sorry.
me.
Alright,
have so
we're meaning to purchase some ink, I think.
Did you not? That unfortunately rhymed.
what do you hate wordplay as well as knowing about important arcane organizations?
No, I actually quite like learning about things that matter.
Allergic to couplets. Let's move on.
Okay, so gemstones. Do we know
I have like 5.
how much these gemstones are worth?
Nope. Shiny rocks. Well, I have a bag of gems, and then I have 3 individual gemstones.
Okay. Can I? What check would that just be? Broad intelligence.
Well, here's the thing. I gave you guys gem names, and now you're saying that there are gemstones, and I have no idea what they are.
I don't know. I didn't write it down. I just
Well,
if I can.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'd have to get them reappraised to figure out what they were.
Yeah.
So we're boned for now, I think.
But anyway, Aisha, how much
Yes.
are you helping out?
I have 22
money-wise?
gold. I can give you whatever.
I also
Plus
have the
the
Plus
silver
250.
ring.
Oh.
250.
Oh, right. Sorry.
gold.
I
Okay.
also have a silver ring.
A silver ring. Yeah, we can. I mean, I don't need to get all these bells copied down. I'm just trying to see how much I can get right now.
I have 292
so
then.
for me, 160. So how much are you? Like, are you all in, or
Yeah, I can be all
I don't
in.
want to steal all your
No,
money.
no.
160 for 320.
How about if I give you like
another
200?
Lovely
Yeah.
land of fantasy account.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
If I give you 200 gold, will you?
liter. Hold on, 320.
Do you? Well, I was like,
What's up?
I think we all we can do it on here.
Yeah, like okay, let's keep this for later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The sake
Okay,
of
we'll just
momentum.
assume that we bought however much we can get with this amount.
Yes.
Mhm.
Alright. It's fine. Does anyone want to do, you know what? I don't think anyone else remembered here, so I'm not going to force it.
The royalty thing?
No.
No.
I'm like, well, technically
hasn't
you
said-
and I
he hasn't
left
said
the
his name.
building.
Yeah, I my business here is done.
Yeah.
Oh, the receipt.
Oh yeah, there's.
But it didn't mention any. What did the receipt say?
There's like an armory across the street. I'm just gonna go right there.
Yeah, me too.
It's right across the street. That was the Moore's Armors, I think, or was that
Yes,
Brass
that was the Brass Effect was all the way across the
Yeah.
across the
Oh, I don't
Silver
know.
District.
Okay, yeah. So we're going
I
to Moore's
forgot.
Armors, I guess, which is across the street.
Yeah, not in me. So, sorry.
I will stick with Lazarus. We'll do some studying.
Hold on.
As you guys continue moving forward, you can kind of see. It kind of seems like a small little blacksmithery that's present. It's kind of tucked away under this small storefront. It's present. It's kind of wood burnt in, and it says Moore's Armor on it, and it's very, very cleverly wood burnt in, as well as though it's trying to seem more affluent than it already is. It has like very, very nice hand-woven lettering, and you can tell in the back like there's smoke rising from the back and heavy like. I can't do stone. I can't do metal noises. Ting, ting. Yeah, that's like that, like ting noises
Yeah.
and like breaking of metal on other metals. You can smell this bit of like iron woofing up into your nostrils almost. You can smell open flame and the burning of wood. And as you just go through the door and tuck it in, you can see this very elderly lady. She's kind of older and she's a little bit more hunched. She's got a gray hair put into a bun on the top of her head. She's got like the kind of thing where her body is just like shrunken in, and she's
I like
got
her
like,
already.
her arm is like this, and she's like, oh hello,
I like.
oh you're very tall. What can I get for you today? Looks over and she's like very. You can tell like this is an old human. This is an old human. And she like puts on glassware and she sticks over and she's got like this nice little necklace and like she's just grandma human to you right now.
Ruby's just like,
What sort of wares do you sell?
Oh, my son does all the wares. I can
Okay.
give you this nice little piece of paper, and she goes
Jackie,
over and
if
she
you
kind of like
give
moves the paper, moves it onto your
230,
side,
then I
and
have
gives you like
enough to do 500.
I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do it.
a mass
pages
list
worth
of
of
weapons that are
levels worth of
open as
spells.
well as the armors that are available.
I
get
can
your
pass
party.
it to Ruby.
I'll give you that.
all right. Ruby starts
Thank you, Jackie.
reading
No
through
worries.
it. So what is
62 then.
what Edith looking for?
Well, maybe we can trade in
Yeah.
your gold armor for something that's less, obvious, leaving
Yes.
from a dead person.
Oh, and the
say
gold
this in
and the
front of
gold
the little
mace.
lady.
I put down the
Yes.
gold mace.
We have these to trade.
You take the armor off that you're currently wearing.
Yeah.
I also have an
Oh,
extra.
wow, okay. And she, like, you just immediately put it on, and she begins to like take out another pair of glasses that she just doubles up immediately, and she begins to like look forward into them. And she's like,
Oh, is this like an armor room,
I-
or are we
Yeah,
getting
we're
it
we're
valued?
literally across the street.
Are we
Yeah.
getting it, like,
I'm
valued,
I'm
or are we getting
afraid
it
this
altered?
armor is bad.
it's
It's poorly made. I'm trying to see a blacksmith's
Is it actually made
insignia.
of gold?
You're not here.
yeah.
Did I not come?
No,
No,
we're still.
You're still in.
in the-
I thought
Oh
we
no,
were-
I thought
Oh,
that
oh.
we were
Yeah.
just going to
Yeah,
once
we
we
went
figured
to
out the
the
math,
next
we were
place.
going to figure out
Okay,
how
so
much
now I'm
we would have
confused.
paid for.
Okay, now we can.
Okay.
You come in.
We're all
Came in
here.
at the end, and she's like, yes, I'm afraid that it's rather poor. I do not even see a blacksmith insignia on it.
Insight.
I will also do an insight.
So that is 16.
I only got 13.
She's not trying to.
Okay. Is it made of gold?
No,
Why would
it
I?
is. And she takes over a small little
Yeah.
flathead screwdriver, and she just like and you can kind of tell that she's like fidgeting with it a little bit until it just and it scrapes off, and you can just see like this
Yeah.
rusted, like ironish metal, and it's just seemingly been painted on.
I also
It's
have
made to look more impressive than it actually is.
It's like this whole fucking
Figures.
city. Well, I also have this breastplate, some chainmail shirt, and this battle axe. A silver ring that could possibly be of value or traded in for something that fits
I have a
me.
bug carcass.
Hey, anything you can do with a bug carapace?
I'm not giving up my
And
pincers.
she takes out another pair of glasses. She goes, "No, I'm afraid it's quite useless." And she takes like a quick stock of everything around. She's like, "Including all of this in the silver ring, 60 gold."
What sort of things do they have for sale on that list there, Ruby?
Look at the list.
Pretty much everything available from the player's handbook.
Alright, let's follow the player's
Is it
handbook.
just like a regular armors?
Yeah.
There's a couple things that are like +1.
Okay.
They are hefty.
Oof.
Like they're well over 800 gold pieces.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's not us.
You could probably get some like normal average stuff like javelins, arrows. This place works a lot in like base armors and other things like that. Nothing really particularly special.
Okay.
There's no armors.
While I'm here, I guess I'll replenish my arrows and whatnot.
Yes, how much would you need?
I wasn't keeping track in the last couple games.
Oh,
Well,
God.
that is your problem.
So,
Do that.
at least a dozen.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least like 10 or 12.
All right. For a thing of 12 would be 5 gold pieces.
Okay. How much to reinforce and repair this shield? And I present my shoddy, what appears to be made out of scrap wood.
Oh
shield.
no, you like the moment you give it up for a second, she takes off her glasses and she's like, I don't even have to look dearly into that. Get it replaced. It is quite awful.
I don't want to replace it.
At least get it retouched.
Yes, how much for that?
For all better wooden materials with everything that is available, it should not cost much. We could try and use other things to reinforce it, but I'm afraid it's quite shoddy.
Yes. So I will give you the silver ring and the chain shirt for the arrows and to make my shield a little more sturdy. It's a sentimental shield.
I will repair the shield. I cannot make it any better than it already is, unfortunately. But I'm sure I could have Amar take a look at it.
Fuck it. What do you think, Ruby? Should we just move on? I feel like this is taking too long.
Yeah. Just, I guess another so how so would it be with everything that traded in? Like how much would it be then?
Like 40 gold to us so
Okay.
far?
No. Now that you're doing the trade-off for what it is, you guys maybe get 20 gold.
Insight 20.
Oh yeah, I have that
Tell the truth.
fungus
Okay.
dagger. I have a fungus dagger and I have a Nervonium dagger.
Yeah, but the Nervonium dagger is a Thieves Guild one. You gotta flick
How
it.
long
yeah,
would
I
it
gotta keep that
take?
one.
Flick for your booty.
I guess is what Ruby says. How long will it take?
That'll be my second
Debating on the rest of what Lemur has
choice.
going on
if Bardis
today,
isn't amenable.
I would probably by sundown.
That'll do.
I will. Yes, it will be done.
Should I show her specifically the back here? Do not touch this part. Only other areas. And
I will let my son know. She goes over and she just starts writing it down. Just giving instructions. She's like, Ema! And you can kind of see this guy in his 40s like come through to the back, and he's just like bulking and huge. He's got like he's kind of got like a little bit of like a I guess like muscle builder's materials with just like a lot of years of eating poorly combined with that. As he just comes here, he's like, I'm coming, and just takes all the stuff and he looks at all. He's like, oh, and he just takes everything to the back, grabs everything in one huge heft, and just starts going to the back. He smells of just iron and sweat. Like he's been working for a long time, and you can tell he does not like dealing with people. He's like, hello. And just like moves to the back entirely.
By the way, in character, Laskar is poring over the spell book. She has it this whole time.
Okay.
While I'm doing that. That's why she's not paying attention.
So Ruby's looking at the armors. So, are the prices like listed on the sheet given or no?
Yeah, listen.
All right, and it's the same prices that are in here.
Yep.
Oh, Ruby looks sadly that he cannot afford plate. No one can afford plate. Oh my god.
There are just there are windows here, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna watch out the window for a while.
You see people moving over to the side. They don't seem
I
too...
have no interest in objects, so I'm just kind of waiting for this
Can
to
you
be.
give me an intelligence check?
Sure.
How much more do you need for plate?
No, that
Ruby?
wasn't very good. That was only a 9.
It's 15.
You've noticed that
1,500
everybody who sends you anywhere
pieces.
else has a storefront.
I could get splint.
Could I roll for something to notice that there's
Sure, we'll
anything
loot some
maybe
plate on
useful to me
someone
that
at
would be
some
there,
point.
or
Nothing you can think of that wouldn't be available in the player's handbook.
All right.
As of right now.
Let's,
I think it's
Alright.
more important for us
Yeah.
to look good because apparently we
Yes,
have to look
I
proper
think,
to get in.
a trip to the tailor. We have to make some other deliveries in this district.
Can we make the delivery first?
Yes,
yeah.
because we might need that money for tailoring.
Well, you will not shake down this man.
I don't remember the details.
Good. We're meant to see Caesarea Nam. I know him.
Find.
Nice.
And
Do I
he's
also
one
know
of
where
the
to find
recipients
him?
of some
Yes,
of
you
the
do.
wine,
Okay,
of the
yes.
1313 wine.
There's 3 bottles
Why
of
don't they
whatever
just
we
call
were
it
given.
26?
That's a terrible name.
But yeah, three bottles of the wine that Vale gave us, or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, we have 3 bottles of wine for that guy anyway.
Are you sure it's 1313 and not BB?
There's no fucking way you guys failed your intelligence check so fucking awful to not tell it was 1313.
Could you imagine?
If the number
actually
13 is
BB wine.
unlucky, then so should the number B be. Since it's like a 13 squished together.
Yeah.
Honestly, rest in peace, Mitch Hedberg.
He was
Just
so good. Common
Yes.
legend.
But
One-liner comedians too, which is so hard to do.
So yes.
need to look good.
Let's go.
I already look good.
Yeah, let's go to let's deliver this thing and then perhaps stop by a tailor.
Yeah.
As you go by, you know exactly where Caesarea Nam would be. He's on the most northeastern side of the Silverlips district, and he's kind of in the older area of town. It's kind of been taken over by the elves of that area. And that area kind of like bends around the woods and trees, kind of like bend around the houses almost. You come across a small, tiny little cemetery. It's been overgrown into a large garden that's been present. And as you begin to walk through the cobblestone begins to rise up and is uneven. As you come across Caesarea Nam's house, which you've seen several times over your long years. And this time, the tree that just started there when you first were there has now wrapped around the house entirely.
it's been a minute.
And seemingly sprouted up almost as high as the gates itself, as the tall trees begin to rip into the cinder bricks of the walls. And as it begins to rise up even further, you can see city guards walking onto the side. And as you come over to the familiar house, you can see this large wooden door with a face pressed into it, kind of extending outwards. And as you go over, you can see the entire house almost has been changed. There's bits of brick in it, but seemingly it's been shifted and morphed into a house-like shape. That's what it is.
Alright, do I know to knock? Like
Yeah.
because there's a face in the door.
You
and I
also
was
know
like,
that you should be expecting a large noise.
it's gonna be loud. And I rap on the door.
As you rap on the door, you hear, "What?
Oh my gosh.
Come in!"
Alright, and in we go.
Are they like really, really big doors or?
Pretty. They're okay. They're thin.
Okay.
They're thin and tall more than they are wide and short.
Okay. I guess I just push it.
Yeah, I'm leading this, so I push the doors
If
open.
you're gonna go in, you can see like a small little kitchen that's on the side. You can see a small wood oven burning. You get this kind of scent of honeysuckle, as you can see all of the walls lined over to the side, filled with different bits of soils that have been embedded into the wall, growing out over time. And through that, you can see an old senile elf, kind of like seemingly lurched over as he's reading on the other side of his veranda. Sunlight's pouring in. Like he has his socks off and his feet are over, and he's like putting them into the sun, and he puts down a book, and you can see these pale flaps of skin like melting off his cheekbones almost, and drooped ears for an elf, which are very, very noticeable. Like kind of press over. You can see his swelled eyes that kind of go. Salt and pepper hair seemingly everywhere, and curly. After he stands tall, like he'd probably be around 5'11", but so old and slouched, he's probably 5'6" now, including his slouched and necked figure.
No.
Finally goes over, and his almost skeletal-like posture. Anybody here want to take a guess at how old this guy is?
1,000 plus.
1 million.
1,001.
Fucking close.
Oh.
Elves do not fucking live this long, and this guy's a fucking relic.
Oh.
Like, this guy is probably as old as the Dragon's Age itself. Like, this guy is fucking old.
I knew him when he was a child.
What if goblins are just really old
just little
elves,
babies.
and that's why
Just
the
small.
droopy ears?
What?
What if goblins have droopy ears because we're just really old elves?
No!
Yeah.
Don't act offended at that.
No, it's just simply wrong!
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you a taxonomologist?
For a short period of time, yes.
Oh, all right.
When he was a child. And
Kudos to
how
knowing
old
what
were you
word I
when
stumbled
that
over.
was?
I was still new.
Ravenot,
New?
you
Did
bring
have-
people into my home?
Did you have a like? The
And
meat?
you just see as the skeleton hand kind of shakes up, and you can almost hear the clattering of bones almost as his hand goes, "Who are you?"
Shall I introduce them, or will you let them introduce themselves?
I like introducing myself.
Introduce yourselves.
Yeah.
And you just kind of see as he begins to like get off the chair, he's just like,
I swear to God,
Who's
one
up?
of these days I'm gonna fucking meet someone who knows what the Tower of Mystics is. Anyway,
yes.
first protector Lasgra. I almost forgot to mention my mom. Daughter of Kalgra, third heir to the Tower of Mystics and keeper of the Shattered Star.
Ah, yes, welcome. Dealt with your time before.
Aisha Night Shadow. It's a
Finally.
pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
Finally, someone knows
Keep your
you.
hand back. I don't
Oh.
know.
Yeah.
Oh. And well, she totally respects him though, but she's like, okay.
Sorry.
You know, you're the first one in this. Apologies for speaking frankly. Garbage city that's actually recognized what the Tower of Mystics means.
Well, most people suck here.
They do.
They suck.
Did
They
we just-
suck so bad.
Did we just become best friends?
No,
Fuck. Are we on the road to it?
I don't know you.
What do you do now? Well,
Go-
you know me.
Go slowly.
And who
he's
are
very
you?
old.
I am Caesarian Nat.
This is my
And
friend.
now we know each other.
I suppose.
Ruby and I have not introduced ourselves.
Right.
You should
Apologies.
take more care not to speak over other people.
I'm sorry. I'm just so excited someone knows who we are. This is my esteemed colleague.
Bloodmaw.
It's a very, very Nolish name.
Thank you.
Rubalux the Red.
You bring a dragon into my house?
Is it the strangest thing I have brought to thy house?
No, Neilry hears this often.
Ruby's unsure if he should be offended.
And because I'm in the company of a friend, I take my mask off.
Between you and me, you could say you haven't aged a day. You're dead.
Been dead.
Ravino, you got something like in your no tongue to which to.
Flower petal.
It is indeed a flower petal.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Dead have no need for aesthetics.
And yet,
That explains a lot.
And yet,
The house is beautiful.
Can I climb your tree?
let us attend first to the matter at hand.
Right.
We have a
ritual of diplomacy.
diplomacy wastes
Wine.
quite a bit of time.
All right. Take out. What was it? 3 bottles. There's 3 bottles, right?
3, yes.
3 bottles of the 1313.
That could be deep. That's my job.
Give it to me.
Forgive me. The
No, one bottle at a time,
patient has
Dad.
a time for it.
I'm old and incapable.
I just put them on the table.
This is over and he's like, he takes it over and he smells it. It's shit. he smells like it's over the top.
Well, it did survive a shipwreck, so who knows?
It's a shit wreck.
Oh.
I love this old dude.
So
Well, I don't have to be
wise.
your best friend, but you're my best friend.
Very well, I'm many people's best friends.
Can I climb your tree now?
Congratulations.
Thank you, I've outlived them all.
And I'm sure you'll outlive me as well.
And perhaps me.
Most likely.
Technically, you already
It's
did.
funny.
Uh,
Anywho, you have other matters.
Indeed.
I'm afraid we have a new member.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
this is news.
It says news. Somebody has been representing them in. We had a letter.
A letter from whom?
Apparently the champion of Yalway. Who the fuck is that? Who names themselves the champion of anyone?
I have yet to hear this from Yahweh.
You'd think.
Perhaps someone else named them. Wait, where are we?
Wherever it
It's in
is,
my
they have
book.
a very particular way of writing.
Hmm. Do you have a copy of this letter?
No. Burned.
By whom?
Apparently Bella Lefario didn't like it. He burned it immediately. He didn't know better was your buddy Helkin. Same for the writing.
His house burned down.
It's unusual.
His daughter did
I'm
it.
afraid the old bastard couldn't be inside of it.
yeah, we were not.
How is his daughter, anyways?
She was well last
In
I saw
town.
her.
She's in town.
Spry as ever.
But Delim is dead.
Ah. That's a shame. He was nice. Good boy. Quite useless, but good.
And
I
now
like his
gone.
sister. Sister's fun.
Hmm. I've borrowed a book from her.
Awful, isn't it?
The worst.
Or when as he closes it, you realize it's the sequel to the book.
I like pull it out of my bag. I'm really excited. Like,
It's awful. The plot just was obvious, and he just spits on the book that he's currently reading and just like mushes it up.
Oh!
it doesn't get better. It
It
gets
does not get better.
worse.
Even with my edits, it doesn't get better.
Did you annotate the first one?
I wrote entirely through it. You can see as he like writes it up and he like makes corrections in the publications,
And,
like
like-
misspellings
Oh my
and grammatical
God.
problems.
Oh, I don't want things, but I want that thing. But I just blast right past it.
Now, apparently there are
Can I
other news.
buy that off you? How much?
I'm not done reading it.
Oh no, the first one.
The first one.
Oh, which one? Which copy do you have there?
So,
No, this is which one? What's the title?
the Gates of Swill. If I remember right.
Oh!
It's not a good title.
It's not.
Hold on, let's make sure. I'm pretty sure that is the book. Or was that the one that she was reading?
It's the one that she was reading.
I'm reading The Gates of Sobriety!
Oh, God.
Yeah, this one's called The Shot of Attraction. Not the second.
Oh, my God.
You're reading the second one, this one's the third. You're almost done it. It'll probably done right today.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh, I have time to.
Can I climb your tree?
Oh! Ooh.
You gonna break it?
I hope not.
The fuck do I care?
There's more.
I would much rather watch you climb a tree.
I excuse myself.
Do not get too high or the gods will shoot you down.
Oh.
I'd like to see them try.
They will.
And I leave and I start
And
climbing.
Ruby follows to watch.
Brief aside.
I'm gonna stay in.
I was looking at my spell book. Where are we?
What do you mean?
I don't know where we are. I was paying attention to my spells.
North end of the city.
Who's this? Why are we here?
To make that delivery.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
Okay.
I thought I was the old one.
I too am forgetful
Just
from
reading
time
your
to
spell
time.
book. You've never got lost in a good book?
Yes, I was
Also
the king where I was though.
lately been lost in a terrible book.
Exactly.
Well, I've read many good books. I feel as though I've earned one off.
Haven't we all?
But I must know more about this so-called champion of Yellowway.
Don't know.
Nothing at all.
I read most of it was written, not in ink either.
In what then?
Blood.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Cool.
Wimps. Can't buy proper ink.
Oh yeah, let's write it in blood so it'll be very menacing and brown.
Ooh, look at me.
Sounds
I'm so edgy.
I write it in blood.
I write things in... Anyway.
Completely impractical.
You're
Anyway,
just jealous because you don't have that option.
I'd write it in someone else's, wouldn't I?
Awesome.
But the champion apparently coming over soon.
How soon?
Apparently it's already within the city.
There's also an aberration in the city.
Yes,
And a fragment of the Black Star.
I know.
Skellig broke a couple of my fingers. Little goblin lad, do you know him?
No, I haven't had such dealings with him.
There's an event tomorrow.
Yes, Sealy.
The Broken Pillars will be there too.
Indeed. I imagine they're after the Black Star like everyone else.
But we must have it, I think.
I'm also gonna lean out the window and call to Egret, like, "Oi, keep an eye out if you see any more of those.
You just
Any more goddesses. I'm assuming you're in the tree at this point.
Oops.
If you
Whoa,
see any
whoa,
more-
whoa, whoa.
We're good. Everything's fine.
Everything's not fine.
It's okay.
That's fine.
The monitor was
Oh, yeah,
just...
yeah.
We're
if you
shaking
see
the
any more
set. Oh god.
goddesses folks, you know,
Um,
pretending to be
is
someone else.
I rolled a 8 for athletics to climb the tree.
So as you go like, as you look out and Oscar for a minute,
I'm
be like,
like-
hey, watch out! And after the goes, oh shit!
I tried to catch! Dexterity!
Yes.
You're like a third
King
of
has
my
fine. King
size.
has fine over everything.
Oh, I get crushed!
Hey, is this high enough to cause falling damage?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
Featherfall.
no. Wait. So altogether, 13.
Featherfall.
He's going, you catch as you begin to fall, and like, for a minute, you're just like, poof, and you just instead just slowly sway back and forth
And Ruby's just like,
as he begins to fall.
You do still fall pretty quick. You still fall at like 60 feet per
I
round.
cackle as
Yeah,
I
but you
slowly
saw this-
fall.
you saw
this entire thing
that was
happen.
fun.
That's
As
hilarious.
you silently drift
into Ruby's
into
arms.
Ruby's arms.
And like this, and then
Pretty good timing.
just drop down, because I assume you're heavy.
Oh yeah, I'm 300 pounds.
Whatever it is, they feel as though they have other problems.
Once you're up there, just keep an eye out for any.
They
Why-
wish to
I
kill
don't think they're
man.
coming back up.
What?
I-
Intake for a quick.
That was fun.
To what purpose?
The vampire.
Ah,
You know what the order is? You don't know what it stands for? I'm surprised you didn't act so yourself.
she is not evil. There is no need.
That's exactly the problem. She's the one who sent in the letter. She was the messenger, at least.
So she knows of this.
I think she does. She thinks someone will kill her.
We should prevent that. At
The
least...
letter stated specifically the eradication of all half-lived. Vampires, werewolves, the whole shebang.
Skeletons.
Mm-hmm. That includes all who are either living or undead.
And we should attend to this. There is. I must be requisitioned new attire.
Hmm?
They will not let me in like this, I think.
No, I'm afraid they will not.
And
Right. You know of Throtram?
Do I?
You can give me a
I may have forgotten this. I am myself quite old.
Yeah.
What do you want, an intelligence check?
Yes, please.
Do I have advantage?
Yes.
Got this.
11.
You've known him Throtram when he was just a boy. And that was quite a while ago. Dwarf.
Isn't he but little?
He was little. But like all of us, he got saggy and old.
But he was but little. He was just but little.
You were just but little once.
Ah. No one remembers that.
That's true. I remember.
Allegedly.
Anywho, he was small and he grew up and he ended up being quite useful. He's a representative of the Unborn now, as well as a requisite master for the Order. Also works out of the Unborn. But he's here on vacation!
Then I should have words with him. Where's he staying?
He's currently staying at the, oh, what's that place? Sorry. Old brain. Such good old brain. You worked well for a while. Now you suck.
I love my friend so much.
Yes. You know that witchy pub, the witchy pub. No, that's just that's one that's recent. It has black and stuff. It's like that friendly Olar, except worse and more tacky.
Which witchy pub?
I think it's called, it's one where you sleep in a coffin. It's a novelty place.
Oh, that sounds so stupid.
It is! And offensive, if you're dead. Which I assume, maybe. What?
Take some exception
His
to
name
it.
is, oh! I remember the name. It was deeply stupid. It was Biff Dagger's Cadavers Taverns.
That's like the canon reaction. Like the jaw just falls open. It doesn't move.
Jaw
right?
just falls
It
out.
just falls open, and that's
Falls
the
off
sound
your
that comes
body.
out. No, it stays attached. It stays attached. I know what I'm about.
Good thing Ruby is not in here. Because that would be
He has
creepy.
terrible taste.
That is so tacky. But we'll go see Throsin now.
It's a stupid name. Why would you want to pretend to be dead? When you can actually be dead.
Yes, except now the broken pillars will hunt you down, apparently.
Look at me, I'm broken pillars.
Oh, but do they write?
You know about them!
Do I? Is that a history check?
Yeah.
That's gonna be 16.
They're a group of, it's mostly a cult of hobgoblin renegades that broke apart from the Order quite some time ago to discover more research about Dragonkin and their kind. As of most recently, they operated just off the south side of Zapisa, but have moved more into the Eldrath's Waste of unbeknownst territories. Last you heard anything about them, they were doing particular research on death curses, which is why they were banned.
Do I know to what end? Like they're trying to do death curses to people?
They were trying to investigate their the applications of.
Like, do I know what their goals are?
Their goals are mainly to study more on the effects of death, as well as combining that with certain dragon texts.
And
Particularly, they were more interested in a blue dragon that Elidrat conquered some years ago. That recently took up its roost in Elidrat's Waste. They were particularly interested in an ancient blue dragon, which Elidrat slain some time ago. And they were interested in blue dragon known as Hadagara, the Moving Mountain.
I suppose I'm repeating a list. Do they have relations with the tower?
Terrible relations. They used to be a part of it, and they made their own thing.
Oh, so they just completely broke.
Yeah, they used to have
Tower-like
ties, and they
taboos
broke off ties.
And the tower is not. We're not strict. So if you're breaking tower taboos, you really fucked up. I'm gonna spit on the ground and be like, bastards.
Not in my house!
Sorry.
Listen to
I'm
us.
gonna
Shit, I
cast.
didn't know you were gonna spit in my house!
Sorry, I cast prestidigitation and clean my spit off the ground.
Thank you, just water the rest of my plants are gonna spit.
All right. Wait, were you being sarcastic? 'Cause I
Who
was-
knows? It's a real mystery.
All right, and I spit in one of his plants.
Oh my
He is
gosh.
unfazed. Too old to care.
How's the climbing going?
Oh, I gave up on it.
But I think this champion will make a move.
But if it lasts long,
And probably
fall back down.
sells
on purpose.
little shit.
When was the last?
Some little recital.
That's my thought as well.
It's gonna be a yellow one.
Is there anything more?
Nam will be there.
1 minute.
Oh,
She is currently working for us. She visited me personally shortly after talking to you. Said the secret was out if it was.
No secret of mine.
At least she already had dealings with us.
How long ago?
No. She said her brother apparently took very in-depth studies.
They didn't serve him very well.
And they know about what lies underneath.
Nan does. And Helkin, does he know?
It's too much of an old idiot to know. Wouldn't believe it even if he was told.
Good.
The birthplace of Zebalmore would not be a good enough clue. Also, those of you who are new to Lake Reach, this place sucks.
as we've
The
discussed.
reason why it sucks is because they believe in caste systems. Caste systems are garbage. They don't make any sense.
Unbalanced.
You'd think, well, totally ironic to the point, tits up as it were.
Really an uncivilized way to have a society.
That's the problem. They believe themselves they're quite civilized. But,
Exactly, that's the problem with all these human types and some of these elves, no offense.
they're easily fooled. Lie. Get in if you must. Pretend to be other people. They're dumb. Oh. And you talk to Stortrum, and you might be able to get you some funds to get you over. Additionally, we've got some news from Mabari Slayers.
Oh?
Mm-hmm.
Their business has been, unfortunately, scarce.
Tied in, unfortunately.
Oh? So what's the news?
No. No, they're in the city. We don't know to what extent.
I saw some too. Usually that means there's no work for them.
Where's the Dragonborn?
He's outside.
Outdoors. I'm there. I put my mask back on.
Bring him in!
I will go out. Ruby, would you please come in?
What was the name of those?
He kind of quirks a brow
Bastards.
and follows you.
Thank you.
You!
Go back in too, I guess.
Rubilex. You used to live here, didn't you?
Yes.
You know about your captain?
What about him?
You know the math behind that? What he really is?
I don't know shit.
What's his name?
It's
Boo.
Bootleg Grey Cake.
yeah, bootleg.
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 Not bootleg. He's the knockoff version of a much better captain.
Oh, deal with him?
What do you mean?
Sound like a human name to you?
No.
You know, back in the old days, there used to be an old particular spell. Broken Pillars maybe used to, maybe no. You know of transference.
Is that Arcana to know that?
Yeah.
I was about to roll, but I don't know shit about Kana.
Do I have advantage with that?
Nope.
Nope. Alright, then it's 13.
Should I roll it?
Yes,
I'm
you may.
listening. 17.
I'll roll
You
sign.
do not know. You've heard of it in some cases. It belongs to death curses, which is that it's something that you can essentially make something your own, as in something you can change into your own species over time.
That's fair. It's very the death
Perhaps
curses.
like Finnegan's.
As properties that can be taken advantage of to sort of, I think, change species of someone.
We've seen
Something
something
like
like
that.
that.
Finnegan.
We saw a human who was beginning to turn into a fiend.
I sensed him in one of the towers in the Goldilocks district.
My fear is that the broken pillars maybe have found this goal. Started doing more with it.
What's the use?
I'm afraid Bulag Greekig may be one of them. Maybe the first. Hobgoblin turned human.
To what end?
Don't know.
Maybe he didn't like being beautiful.
There is certainly human privilege, especially in systems like this city.
That is all. That is all I know. Unless I even want fucking tea.
That would be lovely.
I would like tea, actually.
Rubelix puts up his
Been
hand.
sitting here, not talking. I would like tea. Thank you. We're gonna do this.
He
Let's
just
have
like
some tea.
snaps his fingers and it slowly starts making tea on the other end of the house.
Oh, nice.
Other end of the house. He's like, I haven't been able to move in 2
Oh.
years. It's shit.
You must teach me that spell. That is really useful.
Get old.
Like,
The secret to good magic is being old.
Is there any
Good advice.
any compensation for the wine delivery, or
I said
I
thank you.
told you not to shake this man
I
down.
wasn't shaking him down.
It's a good
Perhaps
question.
he has fancy clothes we could borrow and save us a trip to the tailor.
Perhaps I will be able to requisition more if you agree to assist me.
Sure.
Hey, we're friends.
I believe it can be done. Very, very simply. You,
yes.
how old are you?
I'm 30.
Oh, fuck off. Then.
She's in a broken side because she really respects us.
You,
So
you
she's
can
like,
take an insight check to that.
yeah, I would like
I'm
that
a little
actually.
older.
Like,
I'm
what is
36.
going on? It's 12 plus 13 totally.
He was expecting that maybe you were full health and that maybe you were grown, but instead because
Yeah,
you,
she's grown.
but instead you're 30, you're just a babe in his
Oh,
eyes.
but she respects him so
He
much.
doesn't even think that you even have like a
you
adult
are.
name yet.
Oh, no!
I mean, you're a half elf, right? So
Yeah.
You would. Maybe that does that mean he's pegging you for an elf?
Probably.
Is that old?
Which is a
Is that
thing that can
young?
happen.
I don't
I think,
understand.
yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
you should know these types of spells by now.
She hides, like she holds a lot of like.
What is
Feelings
Saren
in.
like now?
There's some of these. Just angry.
It's still as pretty as it was before.
Yeah, I haven't went there in a while, but yeah, it's still really pretty and yeah.
I wouldn't be lying to an old man.
No, I'm not lying. It's pretty.
It's very unethical.
I
Oh,
miss
for sure.
I
You're
miss
lying
being
to an
there
old man.
sometimes. I miss being there, but it was pretty.
Last I saw it was pretty. Although that might have been very long ago. You know, I do lose track.
Anyways, you're allowed to stay here for the moment. I probably could get you some better dressed attire for the evening. You're welcome to stay here if you wish.
The rest of you could use some nicer clothes.
I would like nice clothes, a lot nicer.
Let's
My,
get on.
sure.
my
you
nice
know.
clothes were fake.
I'm sure Jomet would not mind if you stay the night. Jomet is the tree for all of you.
I welcome it.
You know
I welcome
the
that
tree,
offer
did
if you are amenable.
The tree
Some
has a
branch may
name.
have snapped.
You broke a branch? You don't know how serious. I'm kidding.
This is a big one.
I
Oh,
know
shit.
that it's fine. The tree's so old.
My goodness. What's the blue dragon's name again?
Hadagara.
I didn't write it
The
down because I wasn't
moving
technically in the
mountain.
room for that. So
I would hear that you go out and you scope this meeting with Sarah. I know for a fact his bodyguard is rather huge and tall like that one.
A no.
Mm-hmm.
Dark fur,
Yes.
nasty scar.
Uh-huh.
Fancy dressed.
Mm-hmm.
We saw that one.
Dressed like a poodle.
Salt boot, that one.
Salt boot. We have a receipt from that one then.
Mm-hmm.
We found it. Who has that?
It's in Abyssal.
That sounds about right.
Readest thou Abyssal? I forget.
Look! Look at my books! Do you see all the things I read?
Could have read them all in one language.
What would be the point of that? You cannot express what it means to be truly sad, and no, you wouldn't understand.
My
Giveth!
my apprentice
Ruby's just
requires
like,
magic.
have I been insulted?
And can we give him the letter?
Yeah, sure.
Ah, damn it to me. Yeah.
Didn't we already read that with Soul?
We did read it. It just he doesn't need us to read it to him.
We have a face,
Yeah.
we have a face to the
You can
name
read.
now.
All his books.
Look at
Yeah.
Scar, dressed to the nines.
Very interesting. It's
Everybody's
very interesting.
crazy where the sharp dressed Noah.
I'm afraid this is of darker intent than I previously anticipated.
So what do you know? Many things I know.
I know. What it seems to be is a replacement. It seems to provide a replacement for bloodlust. Something that is specific among werewolves. Among others.
Werewolves?
Mm-hmm.
Werewolves!
Well, where?
Where are the
Where-
Tell me more.
werewolves?
Where?
It is a specific thing to stop the changing. To pay it off. Make it slower to infect, not so rampant. Make it more controlled. It is much like shooting a crossbow. It is not that crossbows are bad, it is where you shoot it.
Crossbows don't kill people. Werewolves kill people.
Well, do kill people, but crossbows also do a good job.
When werewolves are
What
not
does
available.
Knoll have to do with this? Can wolves even catch werewolfism? Lycanthropy?
I have to talk to Cannigan for that.
Also, when he mentions crossbows doing a good job, Shoal kind of jumps up and down excitedly.
He did a great job with his crossbow, and we're all so proud of him.
That is all.
Werewolves have taken over my clan. That's why I'm here in the city and not out in the grasslands.
Is your plan to come here and make your fortune?
No, my plan is to seek revenge and reclaim my tribe.
Well, that might be more difficult than anticipated.
Yeah.
This requires great difficulty. You'll probably have to take it to Cannigan yourself.
Cannigan. Where can I find Cannigan?
Cannigan is in another temple, farther to the north, where the sands die in. And plants begin to die as well.
Paragon of the Hunt.
Has
So
been
far to
years.
the north.
I have not seen a werewolf here in some time.
They're closer than you think.
It is unusual.
They're in the foothills around the city as well as the grasslands to the south where I'm from.
Is it a sickness or of other birth?
I don't know.
May be important. And as you guys begin to go away, you can see someone come through the door immediately. And you can see Nan as sunlight begins to pour off the back of her skin. And nothing happens. It doesn't appear to burn her. As you can see, these type of bright lined insignia begin to trail down one side of her arm. She begins to go through. Can one of you give me a what languages do you all speak?
Common, Elvish, and Infernal.
I only have Common and Goblin, but Noel also has Undercommon and Gnomish.
I have Common, Draconic, Dwarven, and Elven.
I'm the
Abyssal,
same way.
Knoll,
I'm the
Orc.
same thing. Dwarven, Elvish, Common, Draconic.
Abyssal, Knoll, Orc. And
You-
Common, obviously.
You'd be able to tell us immediately. It's abyssal. As it lists off the side of her arm.
Piers, you've been busy.
And as the light begins to shine off, part of you all kind of like take a minute to realize it's not burning her. That should completely and totally incinerate vampires.
Ah, shoot.
And as it goes off the side of her arm, you can see very clearly Daughter of Wofik, Savior of Yelway. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Wait, do I, what was that guy's name? The guy that used to be a hobgoblin?
Bulag Greykick.
Bulag. Would I know, or would it be a check to know, like, if I recognize that name? If
You can give me a history check
'cause it
retroactively.
sounds like he's probably part of, I mean, or do I already know, would I already know from context clues from the conversation that he was in Broken
Greykick is
Pillars?
kind of a particular last name.
So, sorry. Oh, here. Let me fix it for you.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Do I already know that he was a Broken Pillar?
Here. You don't know.
Okay.
It's okay.
I threw my pen
no,
so
no, it's
hard,
okay.
21.
so I needed
It's
to
okay.
write
It's
something.
okay now. It's okay. Yeah.
My pen.
Greykick is particular to those who would know.
Heard
Those
that
who would know
before.
it. Yeah. He was Rublex's old captain.
No, but
And
haven't we
you
heard that somewhere else?
and you'd also know that Greykick is a part of a different clan of gnolls. Long said for
Wait,
being
Knowles? I thought you said
sorry,
hobgoblins.
hobgoblins,
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
They're known as being Bakaras.
And that
Thank you for
is-
joining us for Quests and Queers.
No, we're not done yet.
I thought you said we were done.
No.
Excuse
We
me.
were, but then
I think this is
These
when
are
like
ones
dramatic
particular-
music and a slow
being-
zoom on
being,
Lasgra as she starts to put the pieces together.
Bakaras are known for being masterminds. Ones that sneak into places without really being known or seen, and then take large portions of where they're from to flood resources to other areas.
Or Ruby doesn't know because he's dumb.
That 3 ain't helping.
That was a really, really mean cliffhanger.
Yeah, that was. It's like, we need more.
also I was hyped because I'm like I'm gonna give her a book back and
No,
No,
no
not
combat
now.
session. No
Next
combat
time.
session.
Oh,
Sorry,
nice
guys.
day, yeah.
That's
okay.
okay. Social
Casaria
sessions
Nam
can
was one of my favorite guys to.
Wait, do they? Okay, but do they do that to help like less fortunate areas, or do they just do it?
They do it to help
Purely as
specifically
their-
goblin areas,
Okay,
specifically hobgoblins.
so they steal from the non-goblins and give to the goblins.
Mhm.
Hell yeah!
All right, close out.
Yeah. Okay, this has been Quests and Queers.
Thank you for joining us. Do stay tuned for
Yeah.
a potential closeout stream. We'll be going live soon. We are ticking that clock to be live for realsies.
When you hear us say
in the
that,
meantime,
we will have been live for some time.
Thank you for watching Quests and Queers on whatever platform you are consuming it on, whether that's twitch.tv/Quests and Queers, youtube.com/Quests and Queers, or on your preferred podcasting app. I have been Mark, and of course, with us have been our fabulous cast.
They're with us now.
And Jackie,
They're part of our
Charlie,
screen.
of course, our
They're part of our
DM,
screen.
Redicus.
We're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah,
Or I guess
yeah,
the
we're Deadpool.
second wall, really.
Music
I'm
by
here now.
Foxamore.
Yeah.
We learned teleport.
This is
Yeah.
in partnership with Toronto Gamers.
And keep questing, queers.
Yeah.
Quest together,
Yeah.
Questing clearly.
Questing queerly.
be gay, do crimes.
Be gay to crimes!
I can't
We
think
cannot
we
officially
can say
endorse
that.
crime.
We can say do crimes.
Wink.
All right.
Don't
good
do
night.
crimes.
Yeah.
Wink.